Hey guys, welcome back to the Rockford Ordinance. We are here tonight with December 20th's version of Coffee and Kalashnikovs. I'm glad you're all here. Hey, it's almost Christmas, and I thought, well, we'd get a little festive this evening. I know you guys are not used to seeing me in these bookwormish glasses, but hey, what the heck? I thought they were kind of cool. Anyhow, they're just readers because I can't see a damn thing anymore. And they help when I'm putting stuff together. But hope you can see me okay, hear me okay, and everything is good. So, how are you tonight? Everybody got their Christmas wish lists in for all their favorite new toys you're asking for? Maybe new 1911 or a new AK or maybe an AR or maybe some ammo, reloading stuff. I got a few wishes out there. We'll see how my wishes come true. Um, got a feeling maybe it's going to be I hope it's some new reloading gear to speed us up a little bit because if not, I've been wasting a whole lot of time prepping some brass, but we'll see. Got some good stuff to talk about tonight, and hopefully, you guys got some good stuff to talk about. So, jump in the chat there if you got any questions or want to make comments on anything current event wise, things like that. We are happy to address it and start a little combo about it, so to speak. Let me jump in the chat here and see who's here first of all. After I get this light out of my face. It's driving me nuts here. There, that's better. We won't sweat as bad either. Let's see who's in here tonight. Let's go to live chat. So you guys know up at the top there, you can, I think it defaults to top chat, but if you click on live chat or click top chat, you'll get a choice. You can click live chat, and that's like up to the minute, includes all the comments. If you're on top chat, you won't be seeing quite everything. So just a little tip for you folks new to the live chat portion of these live streams. Some of you may have in the past, a lot of people that use it all the time might not know. And they're like, what are they talking about? I'm not seeing where they're talking about this. Well, that's because you're on top chat and not live chat. So click it and join in. Let's see. Oh, Joe had it on a comment on there. We sent him a little care package, but I don't see his comment anymore. It went away. He just Joe thanking me. It's going to help him complete something. And he had won a couple prizes from the channel, and me just ridiculously late getting them out to him. He won a Krebs tool for moving the levers on the gas tube on an AK. So we sent him out the Krebs tool, and he needed a grip for AR. So we sent him a Magpul and another one I had laying around. So he said they came in handy, and I'm glad to hear it. Nobody deserves it better than Joe. And Merry Christmas from us to you, Joe, from your Rockford Ordinance channel family to your family. And same to the rest of you. Merry Christmas to all of you. I want to thank you before we get into this for all the people that are here regularly, week in, week out, and some new arrivals, or maybe you've never been here before. Thank you all for helping to make this channel what it is. So you guys know we passed 1 million views since the channel's inception, which, hey, there's big guys out there who might get 100,000 on one video. Well, for a smaller channel, we're approaching 7,000 or 8,000 subscribers, but 1 million views, that's incredible. And then the watch hours and everything. I wish I had the stats here I could read to you, because you guys would be really, really impressed. And it's thanks to you guys, the ones that come in here every week, hang out and talk cool stuff. It's like going out to the bar or going to a coffee shop or just hanging out in your buddy's garage. That's what we kind of do here. Um, Everything from we're known as an AK channel, but you got to branch out because there's only so much you can talk about. So over the years, we talk about ARs, AKs, pistols, you name it, from AUGs to Uzis and ARs and everything in between. And it's all fun, right? We're gun enthusiasts. We're three gun enthusiasts. We're long distance enthusiasts. We're black powder enthusiasts. We do a little bit of everything. So if you're into it, hang out, and eventually you'll hear about it. We cover it all. So I hope you enjoyed some of the latest videos and all. I was just looking over because I've got family in town for Christmas and showing them that cool video of the Browning BAR fully automatic. Well, that's the only way they make them. BAR World War II rifle we shot, and the MP40, the German World War II MP40 we shot. I was showing them the video from 2A get together. And that's always fun to go back and look at that. And Chris from Marksman TV and 2A. It was such a blast. So much fun to go back and look at it. But yeah, really cool. So Joe Cotto, you weren't first in. Joe was. Maybe I can't see his comment because the live chat thing's covering it up. Or maybe he took it down. I don't know. But who else is here? Hattori Hanzo. Chase is here. Hey to you too. Joe, of course. Joe says, I love this show. So did my father. Well, I'm glad he enjoyed it, Joe. I'm sure you miss him, especially this time of year. I know for some of you that don't know, I lost my son about a year and a half ago. And God, time flies. But yeah, we miss him this time of year. That's for sure. It's not quite the same. But you got to just remember the good times. That's all. Chase Luthar was first place to gets A1 slab sight uppers back in. My order is done, and once I can finally finish my M16 clone. Cool. Clones are cool, man. There's two types of clone people. There's those that will get close enough and good enough, and then there's those that just every nth degree, has to be just perfect. Even if it's a hidden part, they have to have the right one. If it's, let's say, they like in the M16, they want the right buffer and for the right year and all of that, because all that stuff changed, as the rifle was being developed. And even though it's hidden and nobody knows, they know. So they get everything. They spend this crazy amount of time collecting all the parts and getting everything right. And it's really neat to see that. I stopped in a LGS, a local gun shop, today actually, because I had some I had a root canal today, guys, and I'm here. But yeah, I had the root canal, and there was a gun shop close by I had never been to, and I stopped in, and last thing I expected to see there, but I look and there's an RPK sitting on the wall. I'm like, huh, look at that. Not any RPK, but it looked kind of familiar. But then again, most RPKs do, other than Yugos. But Romanian, Russian are the Romanian RPKs are probably the closest thing you can find to a Russian AK. They're duplicates essentially, other than their adjustable bipod on the one model, and like on my paratrooper, the dong front end. But they're all pretty much the same, right? The Romanian and the Russian. So I'm like, looks kind of familiar, but I'm looking at the wood. I'm like, look, whoever did it prettied up the wood a whole lot, like too much in my opinion. They sanded it way down, high gloss finish. It looks nice, don't get me wrong, but it looks like it belongs on, I don't know, like the wood on a 700 Remington BDL or something, And I'm talking to the guy, I'm like, man, what do you have on there as far as what make it is, because they had a tag hanging, and they'll usually put something. And I figured it was a build that somebody had a build they had done, sent it out or did it themselves. And I wanted to see. And he says, it says CAI. I'm like, oh crap. It says Century. I go, that's Century. And the guy goes, oh, we got a Century down here. CAI. Yeah, I guess it is. We usually write Century. So I know the guy's new, and admittedly so. He said certain things he had asked his boss and this and that. But I checked it out, and don't you know, it's what was it, a PM 64? So it's the Polish RPK that Century came out with. It was a 1976 kit, maybe, and looked well built, well put together, proper barrel profile, everything, sharp looking gun. And I thought, I didn't remember Century coming out with those. Any of you guys know when they were offering those to their dealers? Was it recently, or quite a while ago, or a couple of years ago? I don't know. I don't remember it recently, but something maybe, 10 years ago, maybe like 13 or 12 or something like that. Is that when those came out? I'm not sure if it was a P64 or an M64 or PM64. I can't remember, but I don't think it was shot at all. I think somebody bought it, maybe touched up the wood, because I doubt Century did. And yeah, not a mark on it. It's got a slant brake on it. It looked like it had a triangle with the arrow in it, and I thought, huh. And then when I saw Polish later, I thought, huh, that's okay. Maybe that is Poland's arsenal, but that was on the trunnion, front trunnion. I'm not that familiar with Polish weapons. I told you guys that's one I want to add. I don't have any Polish AKs, but this might be a cool way to add one. And it's on consignment. So if any of you guys are familiar, have an idea, or maybe what you'd pay, throw it in here real quick. I'm not going to tell you what they were asking just yet till a few people throw in their numbers on it here. And we'll see how close it is. I didn't get a chance to look up any auctions or anything like that. Didn't even research it, really. Were they good guns? Anybody know? I mean, people like to put Century down right away, but it's usually for their stuff, the Vishkas and that kind of stuff. They're kit guns, like the M70 AB2. You guys hear me rave about it all the time. Those are great guns, but those were subbed out by Century. But kit guns that Century put together, for the most part, are pretty decent guns, as long as the mag wells aren't messed and a few other things. But Century subs a lot of that stuff out, so it tends to come out pretty good. Anyhow, whatever you know about it, throw it in here and we'll get back to it. Let's see who else is in here. So Chase is talking about his clone build. AK Old School's in here. Hey, how are you, man? Good to see you here. He should know something about this Polish RPK. You guys want to see another RPK video? Because, gosh, I haven't shot them in so long, and it would be a blast to break them out again and go to town with them. They're so much fun. I love putting a scope on my AES 10 and seeing how accurate that thing is with the longer barrel and all. It's kind of fun because it has a side rail, actually. It wouldn't have normally, but Century had side rails put on them when they made the AES 10B. My paratrooper does not have one on it. That's an original kit. Does not have one on it. And I kind of like it that way as far as an RPK goes, but it's cool once in a while to throw a 1x6 on there and just see how accurate the thing is at a couple hundred yards. True American Loretta's here. Good to see you. Ross is here. Awesome. Good to see Ross. David Inglesby, he said, let's do this. We are. We're going to jump right in. Well, we have already, right? uh, Orient Chase Loretta, good to see you. He's saying hi to everybody. Oop, I missed somebody and it jumped on me. Let me get back here. Sorry, guys. We'll get through this quick and then we'll get into everything. But just like to see who's in here, especially on our Christmas edition here, right? What do you guys got planned for Christmas? You know how people get together like Thanksgiving, and maybe Thanksgiving morning they have a family football game, or growing up we had a lot of people would go pheasant hunting on Thanksgiving morning. I think we should have like Christmas morning range days, right? Or maybe Christmas Eve morning, maybe, and have a little range day, family range day. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? That would be a good time. Let's see who else. I missed somebody. I left off with David Squeaky's here. Cool. Good to see you. And Arch is here. Who's ready for the blizzard? Yeah, no kidding. My daughter's driving home from Ohio, and she wasn't going to leave till Thursday or Friday. Well, I had her leave earlier tonight, so she's over halfway home. Hopefully, going to beat the storm, and we'll have her home safe and sound because I don't want her driving through that. Wasn't too bad when she was in Michigan. I could always run and get her, right? But that's a little further. And I looked at flights, but I couldn't get a flight out, or I would have flown out there and driven her home myself. Arch needs a 20-ton press. I got rivets to flatten. No, you know what? You can do the 20, but, and maybe I'd use that for certain jobs, but I'm telling you, I've used, when I had a manufacturing plant that I owned, we had a huge press there, right? Well, the heavier, bigger the press, you start to lose feel. And that Harbor Freight 12-ton press, take the time to set it up right. Take the time to, make sure it's not doing the wobbly wobble like a lot of them do. Get all the bolts through it and set up, but don't tighten them. Maybe just snug them. And then check everything for level and plumb and all of that. And then start tightening it down and make sure everything's good. If the floor is not level, which a lot of shops or garages or whatever aren't, figure out how to make a stable base for it that is, and make sure that thing's straight. And you'll be surprised at the feel you have. And make a lever for it that fits snugly and tightly, so you're not worried about that thing dropping out sometimes, because the levers that come with them are just crap. I would get something that you could that's in there almost permanently, and you can really get a feel for it. And because you need a feel when you're pressing rivets and stuff like that. Now, if you're going to bend a flat or something like that, well, maybe the extra punch is nice to have, but you can get by with a 12-ton. You really can. It's one of those things where you go, well, if 12 is good, 24 must be better, and 50 is better than that, but don't let the testosterone get away from you there. It's one of those things where you'll be happy you have the feel, because it's all about the feel when you're doing it. And spend the money for good tools. Good tools. Couple good manufacturers out there. Look at some of the TOF tools, TOTH, TOF. They're available out there over on the files. If any of you guys go over there, I don't know how hard it is to get in over there. For a while, it was really tough. They were screening like crazy. I've been over there forever and ever and ever, but I haven't been on there in a couple of years now. I just haven't had the time. I'll drop in now and then, but I really got to get back over there, because it's a good group of guys over there. And there's other forums out there like AR-15 and stuff that, kind of think that everybody over at AK Files are like knuckle draggers, that kind of thing. But It's not that. It's that AR-15, or I'm sorry, AK Files is a little looser and let some of the things go on that they just don't tolerate over there. And so if you're a little, oh, thin-skinned when it comes to that stuff, it might not be for you. But all in all, if you're a straight up dude, they're a pretty good bunch of guys and they're willing to help you. And you can learn so much over there if what you're wanting to do is, build kits or um, learn about specific weapons, platforms, countries, history, parts, rare stuff. It's just, there's so much knowledge there in the membership. Unfortunately, fortunately, it has one of the best marketplaces anywhere, right? But unfortunately, it attracts people looking for nothing but the marketplace. And in my opinion, they take advantage of it. They come over, they add nothing, and they rape and pillage the marketplace. And I was always of the camp that said, you know what? Once you join, first of all, it should be tougher to get in there. And once you join, you should be able to contribute for a while before you can get in there and do things in the marketplace. It just attracts uh, people that are in it only for the money. And it used to not be like that. It was uh, people were in the marketplace selling, trading, doing because they loved the AK and they loved a certain model or country, and they could find these rare parts that may or may not have been expensive, but they could find them. And guys would, do you a solid on stuff instead of raping you over the coals. Well, the last few years, it's just gotten ridiculous. So I don't know. Anyhow, yeah, go with the 12-ton. You'll be plenty happy. We got a super chat here. Who gave us the super chat? David Inglesby, $20. Thank you, man. Merry Christmas. Thank you so much. I'll explain now, guys. Most of our videos don't get monetized, so we rely on this for any income for the channel, so we can bring you new stuff, ammo, new guns, this, that, the other. It all goes to help the channel. If you go down where you're going to comment, there's a little dollar bill sign. Click on that. You can put anything from 1 cent to $1 million and anywhere in between. And it goes to help us, and we certainly appreciate it. If I see it like that, I'll scan through real quick and see if there's something you had a question on, and I'll try to get to your question first. David says, looks like I will be plowing if storm is what they say. Yeah, I'm not sure where you're at, David. Michigan, maybe. But I've heard by us anywhere from 1 to 3 to over a foot, now down to 9 and all over. But it looks like it's going to cover Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio. I know because of my daughter, and that it's even going to go east of there. And the big thing is the winds and the temperatures and everything. This is really going to screw up Christmas. Hopefully, we wake up tomorrow or Thursday and they say, well, it's all dissipated and it's gone. But hey, be nice to have a white Christmas and be snowed in with just the fireplace going and whatever, right? As long as everybody's home and safe. But if you're traveling, I hope everybody gets to where they need to be, because you need to be with friends and family and loved ones and celebrating the true meaning of Christmas and giving thanks for what we have here in this country. Although it might seem that it's hard to hold on to lately, and that the powers that be are just against us at every level, and these rulings and bans and all this stuff is just flying at you. And it is, right? Every day there's 2 or 3 or 4. It's insane. But at the end of the day, you can't give up. You just got to keep fighting it, fighting a good fight, doing what you can. and it'll all work out. It will. Don't get yourself all nervous. I got something to say about this pistol brace ban that's coming up real quick, right? They sent it to the White House, and boy, are you sick of the videos on it yet? And sick about the guys talking about it yet? And of all of them, this really worried me. Eh, Not only is it just such a slap because whatever you think about braces, there's guys that think that it's uh, a loophole or you're skirting something, whatever it is. The ATF said it was legal for years and allowed millions. They estimate 40 million. And conservative, and as a conservative, I think it's probably more, way more. I think it's probably more like 50 million, somewhere in there. But let's use 40 million, which is what they're saying, 40 million or more. Of these have been purchased and are in use by everyday Americans of all walks of life across the country, right? And everyone tends to say, well, it's AR pistols, AR pistols. It's way more than AR pistols. It's AK pistols. It's Scorpions. It's MP5s. It's Chris Vectors. It's on and on and on. B&Ts and you name it. They're on everything. Rugers, Smith and Wessons, you name it. They're on it. All calibers, both pistol and rifle cartridges, all platforms. They're out there, right? And everybody bought them with their hard-earned money, trying to make something more useful. In a lot of cases, safer. In a lot of cases, easier to use. And they don't make them any more dangerous, right? It's still the pistol it was, whether it be a pistol caliber or a rifle caliber. Doesn't make it any more dangerous. May make it more accurate or repeatable, but isn't that what you want for safety? You want someone hitting their target, right? And let's face it, these aren't the problem. Matter of fact, they don't even have statistics on them. But what really upsets me is that they can say just something's completely legal one day, and the next day, sorry, we're taking them away. And what can you do with them? Well, you can destroy them. You can turn them in. Or supposedly there's going to be an amnesty, and you can get on our lovely list, and we'll waive out your tax. Whatever happened to rights being taxed, not being right? I don't know. Anyhow, what this all comes down to, guys, I think there's going to be, this is much easier than what we think. And a lot of people want to jump back to, well, Bruin's going to save us all, right? And Bruin's certainly a help. But in this case, there's a different case that's going to work out much better for us. And believe it or not, it's a case involving the EPA. So think of it this way. This is the best way I've heard it explained. So the administration comes in and decides that green energy is the way to go. And they're going to do everything in their power to move green energy forward and take fossil fuel energy back 100 years. That being said, they did it not through laws or debate and then laws being passed through Congress. They did it through orders of bureaucratic agencies, namely the EPA. And this is no little thing. This affects everyone. This is a major question, right? And there's actually, I think it's called major question. They refer to it as a major question doctrine or something like that. When you're affecting economies like West Virginia, what do you think's happening? They targeted coal mainly. But what do you think's happening in West Virginia with the jobs and everything? It's killing them, right? You're changing the very fabric of America with these rulings by unelected bureaucratic agencies, right? So West Virginia took the EPA to court over this, and it's changed economies, right? And they won. And it basically says that you can't do that. It violates the separation and everything. And I think you're going to see when the lawsuits hit, because once they hit, once they announce it and all, there's 120 days, you're going to see the lawsuits hitting like wildfire. But they're all going to reference this EPA thing, and it's going to have very little to do with brewing or anything like that. So we got that going for us, and it's a really, really good argument. I don't think it's going to hold water. I don't think you'll see braces going away. And I wouldn't be so hot and heavy and ready to burn your braces just yet, and or sign up for any lists out there. Just hang tight and enjoy them right now all you can. But I think we'll have some good news out of this. So my opinion, and fill you in on a little something there. Now I gave you a real brief overview of it. There's some good videos out there on it. Washington Law, it's Washington Gun Law, something like that. They did a video on it. Really good. Go check that out. It'll fill you in on, I'm not a legal 2A channel. I'll give you the brief synopsis, and you guys go from there. But trust me when I tell you that's how it's going to go down. So it'll be interesting to watch, and I got a feeling they're going to be sorely disappointed. It's going to be really cool. Anyhow, I started saying you can give us a super chat by clicking on that dollar bill. Sending over whatever amount you want, 762-556. That's always cool. It helps the channel out. That's all we got to say. If you can't afford it, I get it. It's Christmas time. The economy sucks. Inflation's up. I get it. Hang out with us. Have fun. It's on us. But it always helps. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Let's see what else you guys have to say. And then we'll get into that RPK a little bit here. Boy. Nobody I bring up 2A stuff, and look, we had the watchers dropped in half. Sorry, guys. Enjoying my peach Red Bull as usual. Love it. All right, let's see who else is here. I'm going to get on the Christmas glasses so I can see something here. Yeah, so Arch says he's got rivets to flatten. He needs a 20-ton press. Well, if that's what you asked for, Santa will bring it to you. Hey, make it easy on the reindeer and Santa's back and get the 12-ton. You'll be just fine. I want something in 308 and something in 300 blackout. So 300 blackout has never interested me less. There's a caliber that I've never thought twice about. Like, why? Are you going to suppress it? If you're going to suppress it, wonderful. Go buy it. If not, why bother? I mean, why? A, it's expensive as shit. B, you might as well shoot an AK. C, if you're going to suppress it, okay, fine. Other than that, you better be prepared to reload it. And I don't know. Other than suppressing it, I see no point to it whatsoever. 500 rounds of Barnoul arriving tomorrow. Christmas came early. Awesome. I'll tell you what I'm asking for here real quick. Hattori driving into Detroit tomorrow. Maybe my next AK will come from a trunk in Brightmoor. Uh-oh, somebody's been on arms list. Or the files or something like that. You got to tell me, where do you go, Hattori? Where's your secret perusing area? What do you peruse to find your deals? You guys, any where you guys find some good local deals like that? Let me know, because hey, local sounds, well, it's always sounded good, but lately it sounds even better, doesn't it? With this new form and all this other crap coming out. I don't know if there's anyone else here, but I get delayed all the time. I'll bet I get delayed 80% of the time. Okay. And it always goes through, obviously, but 80% of the time I get delayed. So what happens now? This new law comes in, and I go buy a gun and I do my background check, and they say, "Sorry, you've been delayed," because here in Wisconsin, I can take my stuff home immediately if I'm approved, but I don't get my hopes up anymore, because you want immediate gratification. You want to take your little toy home and play with it, right? I never get my hopes up because they're dashed on the rocks of reality every time. I get delayed for whatever stupid reason. And sometimes it's the next day, usually, and boom. Other times, I've had it run almost the whole time. One time, I had it not come back at all, and I had to in 30 days, and I had to refill out a new form. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know why. So are they going to then, now with this new law and everything, are they going to contact my local sheriff? And all the sheriff gets is, hey, somebody's trying to buy a gun and they've not been approved. Does it tell them if it's delayed or if it's denied? And then do they show up? Hey, what are you doing? You're trying to get a gun? What's going to happen? I don't need my local law enforcement coming to my house and neighbors seeing law enforcement in my driveway and all that stuff. I just don't need it. I mean, I tell you the truth, guys, I literally don't want to go down to any gun shop and buy anything right now until I kind of find out what the lay of the land is. I just think it's bullshit. Well, we all know what it is, but it worries me a little bit. Just because, and that's, I get it. That's what they try to do, right? It's death by a thousand cuts. And if they can discourage someone from purchasing something, well, they achieve their goal, I guess. But I don't know. They're Russian red glasses. That they are. That they are. I had the green ones on last week, so I figured red. I feel kind of liberal. I don't know. What do you think? I crack myself up. But I don't want anything to slow down here, stream wise, Oh, well. They cut me off. Well, we don't know for sure, but we had 2 out of 3 weeks. The last 2 out of the last 3 weeks, the stream went down. Bam. Very interesting. I don't know. The one time I had no control. I couldn't turn it off. I couldn't do anything. It was terrible. So who knows what happened there? All right. Who else is in here? Yeah, so getting ready for the blizzard. Well, right now I can't. I got a quad with a plow, and I can't get it out of my garage because my garage spring broke. And I thought the wife would order the spring, but she hasn't, and I haven't. So I would have. I don't even want to think about how much crap I'd have to move to get this thing out of the garage. That, or I guess I could just hoist the garage up, but whatever. Yeah, so I'll probably just get a plow truck from work, run home, plow it, and be done. But who knows? I like big snowstorms. Who likes big snowstorms? They're fun, right? Plus, they muffle the sound of gunfire. That's always good, right? All right. So, what else? So, yeah, where do you guys find your local deals at? What places do you haunt? Never knew there was a difference, nor that there were any other chat options. Yeah, like I said, I'll say again, up at the top where it says top chat, click that arrow next to it, and you can switch over to live chat, and you'll get all the comments. So if you ever thought you were missing something, it'll be there. Rock, you are the patron saint of happy memories. I hope so. I hope so. I hope you're doing well, Joe. I haven't had a chance to get your channel lately, and I love listening to you. I'm not one to give advice, but I'll just tell you this: things just maybe because of my age, right? Because in my early earlier in my years, I wasn't so mm, contemplative, let's say. I reacted. You know what I mean? And all I'm going to tell you, and this goes for everything in life just about, is some of the stuff like I don't even know what is involved with these channels and in fighting and all that crap. Don't let it bother you, man. Don't, the little things, let it roll off your back. It means nothing. At the end of the day, it means nothing. Don't, like the old saying, don't sweat the little things. Don't sweat it. There's always going to be somebody out there. People do stuff just to get your goat, just to get the reaction. So just let it roll. If it doesn't directly affect you or your family directly, and I mean directly, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That's all I'll tell you. Relax, take a deep breath, enjoy the holidays, enjoy your family, and the people you know are your friends. That's all I'm going to tell you. I hate to see you get all bothered over bullshit, you know? Rabbit Hole Reviews bidding on a Manhuron Walther PP7 0.65, less than 1 hour left. Ooh, man, don't miss the auction. Don't you hate that when you just miss it? I hate that. Let's see. Joe's just happy to contribute how he can, and you do, man. Hey, Rock, I've got an unboxing video of a Polish Jack AK on channel. Check it out. Polish guns are for jackoffs. I'm kidding. I couldn't pass it up. Couldn't pass it up. That was too easy. Definitely a yeah for the RPK. Anybody have an idea what something like that's worth? Hattori Hanzo, family party was canceled. Too many COVID crazies that no one in my immediate family wanted to deal with, so we bailed on it. Wait a second. You're telling me they're still out there? Like I haven't seen people wearing masks. Even the hanger-ons with the mask are gone. I don't even see them. But then again, we live in a really cool place, so I couldn't even imagine that. They think there's a second rising coming, of it all. I don't know. I've seen some people getting sick lately, but it ain't that. It's been flu cases and stuff. Looks like I will be plowing if storm is what they say. Yeah, you will, boy. It looks like it's going to be a good one. Blowtorch works as a great snow shovel. I often thought about that. Squeaky used to go on the files all the time. That's how I discovered a few of my favorite gun channels on here, including your channel, Rock. And it was right around the beginning when I started mine. Yeah, I promoted it over there. I would post some videos and they let me, which was cool. A lot of forums won't let you, but they let me. And with the knowledge base over there, I was shocked that I didn't like get laughed out of town or something, but they were all good and they liked them. And it gave me a good jump start. It really did. So I'm forever grateful to them over there. I love that. If you guys aren't a member, it used to be long waiting times. And if it still is, go and sign up and at least you're on the list and one day they'll let you in. But it's a great place to be. Shout out to Lucky Strike. They make me happen. I haven't had a Lucky Strike since I stole a pack from my uncle back in the 80s. He smoked those way back in the day. And no blackouts. Yeah. Squeaky Cooler, Mishko, Mr. Guns and Gear, Rob Ski, AK Operators Union, to name a few. Yeah, that's how I found Rob. And Rob actually was my inspiration to start a channel. And quick note, Rob Ski was in my son's unit in the National Guard. My son came home from one of the weekends with the Guard. Dad, you ain't gonna believe it. That Rob guy, the Russian guy, he says, he's in my unit. And I said, "You're kidding, right?" He says, "No." I went up and said, "Hey, my dad's a big fan." And he said he just kind of smirked and like that. He said, I don't know if it was just how it came across, whatever, but my son said he was kind of a jerk about it. And he took it like him being a big dick. But that's all I'll say about that. I don't know. But I don't know if he asked him for an autograph or something. I doubt it. But he just said he wasn't the nicest about it. Let's just say that. I've never met Rob in person. I love his videos. I love his knowledge. He's an incredible shot. To do what he does with AKs, guys, it's some of it's a feat. Let me tell you. I wish I could shoot so well. Thou shall not comply. Yes, sir, Joe. I agree wholeheartedly. They will not stop with the overreach if they keep getting away with it. You are correct. Stockpile already done. Yeah, for all the bad coming down, guys, we've had a tremendous amount of wins. We just got to keep it up. Where's the electricity coming from? California can't even keep the lights on. Yeah, don't you get that? It's crazy. I don't know how I got on it. Here's a little advice. Never fall asleep with YouTube running on automatic. You wake up to watching a video that you would never watch. It's amazing where the algorithm brings you if you let it run automatically. All of a sudden, I'm watching LGBTQ electric car channels. It's crazy. But anyhow, I'm watching this. He's a cool guy, and he does all kinds of car videos. And he bought some off-brand electric car. I mean, it's a really nice car. It's not, off-brand isn't right. Just a very not well-known car company so far. But he bought it because it was cool. It was like a little pickup truck. And he was going a few hundred miles road trip on the East Coast. And he literally got stranded. He could not find charging stations that could get him to where he was going. He got close and he'd be like 27 miles short. And it took the high capacity chargers weren't there. It took him hours and hours and hours. It increased his trip by like 2 days. And he came right out in the video and said, I don't know where they're going with this 2030 thing, but we are nowhere near or ready as a country for any of this. The infrastructure is just not there. And then you look at California. Do you think they're going to improve their grid well enough and add to the grid what's needed to just keep the brownouts from happening and blackouts, let alone the millions and millions and millions of vehicles? It's not going to happen, guys. It's a pipe dream. It's partially an excuse for this massive devaluation and frankly, theft of wealth, just like the healthcare was. They are eliminating the middle class, and people aren't going to stand for it much longer. I have a peach Red Bull in the fridge because of you. Dude, I'm telling you, it's not just the flavor, because I don't like regular Red Bull. I don't like most Red Bull, but this stuff, the taste, the flavor, the tingle, the bite, something in this. I think there's heroin in here. I really do. I think that's what they put in here. Something illicit and something that makes you come back, because I can drink 10 of these a day without even thinking about it. It's just magnificent. It's the only, and I don't drink pop. I don't drink Coke. I don't drink anything. But these, man, oh man. Like water. Warm, cold, flat the next day. They don't go flat. I don't know how they do that, but amazing. I'm telling you guys, I don't want them to disappear off shelves. So the more people that buy the peach, the more they'll keep it around as a regular flavor. I thought it was going away and I would have died if they did, but it's not. It seems to stay around. Personally, I would rather stay with 762 by 39 instead of blackout. Yeah. Like I said, suppressed, fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Suppresses so well. But if you're not doing that, I wouldn't bother. There is 0 point to it. 0. I get delayed every time. It is ridiculous. They know who I am. I have background up to the hilt for work, and they drag me every time. Going private from now on. In Arizona, easy peasy. Yeah. Yeah, I get delayed every single time, just about too. And it's not since I've been on YouTube or anything. It's been always. Well, I should just I bought more guns since I've been on YouTube, but it's once in a rare while it'll come back like boom, no problem. But just about always there's a delay. And same thing. My shops know me and they know me a long time. So they know that I didn't magically become a felon overnight or something like that. Um, I don't know what it is. Like they say, there's got to be something, either something erroneous in my history or something that could have been taken two ways, maybe, or maybe there's someone with a similar name. I know there's a couple more people with my first and last name, which is hard to believe because it's not a common last name. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, maybe that one of those guys is a criminal, and there's one of them in California. So who knows? But yeah, private isn't all that easy because it seems like the things I want, so does everybody else, and they get to them first. Nope, sorry, it's gone. I don't know. Let's see. Where'd it go? I just saw a comment here I wanted to read. Da-da-da-da. Careful using that L word. Susan will shut you down. What was the L word? L, 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 L. I'll have to think about that one. Rockin' Red Glasses is the low budget Elton John. Oh, I'll break out. You know what? I'm going to make that a thing on this channel because there's a certain site. It's readers, you know what? Readers, blah, blah. And you can get 3 pairs of readers for $33. And yeah, they're cheapies, but I lose them and I have to have 20 pairs of them around, spread on the workbench, at the office, in my car, in the truck, in the shop. There's readers everywhere. And I'll have like 30 pairs and then I'm down to one broken one like this. And I'm trying to put a gun together, And so then I go on there and I order like 10 pairs and here we go again. I just saw it. Hattori Country Dairy in New Era, Michigan. Where's that? Damn good eggnog. Dude, I love eggnog. I love eggnog. I like it plain. I like it with brandy. I like it ice cold, hurt your teeth, nutmeg on it. And I have some upstairs. I am going to go mix one immediately after this show because I love it. Oh man, God, I love it. One of these days I got to try making a homemade recipe. Anybody got one? Sorry guys, if some of you are new and you came here for all guns, it usually is, but hey, it's a Christmas, pre-Christmas show. So we're going to talk about a little bit of everything and we're going to pay attention to you guys here because you guys and gals make the show. So don't worry, we'll get to some gun stuff too. Anybody got an idea on this RPK, this Polish RPK? Come on, I want to talk about it. Let's see. Fostering a dog. I picked him up last week. What kind of doggy? My daughter just got a Burma Doodle, and its name is Millie, and she is the cutest thing you have ever seen in your life. And oh my God, so cute. She sees me, they walk in the door, and the dog's like, oh my God. Like Grandpa's here. And it just comes running. And since it was like 6 weeks old, it thinks it can jump like the Snake River Canyon, but it can't. Well, now it can, but it'll just boom and attack me and just it's all over me, just licking, hugging, and it's so happy. It's like squealing, it's so happy to see me. It's the cutest thing. I just love this thing so much. God, I wish it was my dog, but then it wouldn't be as cool because it would see me every day. But what a cute dog. Don't shed, supposedly, although she said it's shedding lately. Maybe it's just a puppy thing, but it is the cutest thing. Those glasses will make you look like Rachel Maddow. Oh God, that is the most annoying bitch on the planet. If there's anybody, what was that movie where just got to punch you in the face? Well, is there anything I can do about it? No. Something about your face. That's just what it is. It's uh back in the day she came off as like a reputable attorney, and now she's just showing her true colors as just another hoe bag that uh, has no she's not even smart. I mean, it's ridiculous. I can't stand that. God, one of those that top 10 make my skin crawl. How's that? People who wear mask alone in their car, do they wear a condom when they sleep alone? No, but they do shovel their driveways while wearing one of those hats that looks like a reservoir tip condom. You know what I'm talking about? Reservoir tip. Yeah, so there's that. Yep. One of the guys at work had one of those on today. I told him, hey, nice reservoir tip. I turned around and I didn't mean to do it in front of 20 people, and they're all laughing their tails off. It was quite funny. Ba, 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 ba. Squeaky's laughing. Face diaper alone, penis raincoat alone, guaranteed. Bernie bro. These are kind of Bernie bro-ish. No, these are more, let me think about it. Rob Ski was probably a dick because he's likely an NCO. Yeah, he was, and my son was just a private at the time. Yeah. He was my son was as low as it can go. He got to the second level of private by talking his buddy into joining. He was all proud of it. Hey, I got a promotion, Dad. How'd you do that? I got Mikey to join up. Mikey ended up going to Afghanistan, and my son broke his leg and didn't. So it was like, he's like, yeah, thanks, appreciate that one. But all good. He came back safe and sound. But yeah, I think you're right. Nice to see you again, Dale. Hey, cool to see you, Dale. Thanks for coming in, man. Appreciate it. Hang on one second, guys. I've got something. I told you I went to a gun show last week and we report on what we found and all. Well, I was walking down the aisle when there was a gentleman that we started talking, and he had shirts and hats with a saying on them. And I just wanted to give him a little shout out here, and we're going to do a full thing next week with him. But let me grab this. Hang on one second, okay? Guys, this is 2 weeks in a row on this. I've been completely unprepared for it, and I feel bad because I promised him I would do this. But he's just a 2A lover like all of us, loves firearms, loves guns, and tries to do the right thing. And he asked me when we started talking, I said, he said, would you be interested in a t-shirt? And I said, no, thanks. I said, I run a YouTube channel and I've got more t-shirts than I had just thrown out like 2 bags the day before or something. Not thrown out, but donated. And I said, the last thing I need is that. And he said, well, if you were to describe your channel, what would work better? In AR, what was it? An AR, a 1911, or was the other one a shotgun? Okay, no, it wasn't. It'll come to me. But I said, well, actually, all 3, because, we talk about all of them. And he said, well, I just came up with a saying, a play on words, and I put it on a t-shirt and hats, and I thought it was cool. And it's a way for him to make some money and promote 2A and gun ownership and all that stuff. So if you guys remember back in the Reagan years, one of his famous quotes from one of his speeches was strength through peace, right? Meaning PEACE. Well, this guy came up with this strength through peace, as in I got my peace with me. This one has an AR on it, and it's on a real tree edge camo. Puts it on t-shirts, hats, all that. What's really cool is on the back, there's an American flag tag here on the hat. And it's real tree, it's adjustable and all of that. And this one happens to have the AR on it. And I told him I would give him a shout out. And it's a good looking hat. I hate flat brims. I just do. I'm not that age bracket, you know. And it's funny, when we were into motocross racing, we went all over the country for 20 years racing motocross, top national amateur levels. And I got two national championships out of it. My daughter's a national champion. My son was. And yeah, so the flat brims were all the rage in the motocross community, and I hated them. I can't stand that look. I'm the guy that curls it in as far as I can. So I like this hat a lot. I have his card, and I was going to call him, wanted to call him, tell him the show was going to have it today. And again, I got backlogged on it because we had to get this up and running. And if you notice, there's a trailer on it now. When I send out the announcement of the live stream, you'll see a trailer. It's my normal beginning to my videos, but I had to get that on today. I had a thing, I had to get it done today, and I ran out of time. So next week, we're going to do a full thing. I'm going to try and get him in the stream here, and we're going to chat away, and we're going to tell you how you can get them too. And help a brother out, right? We'll help him out. He's promoting it, and yeah, he's trying to make a buck. Absolutely. Why not? You know, I thought it was cool though, because Reagan, to me, I think is one of the greatest presidents ever. I don't want to start a debate on that because some of the youngins may not think so, but you weren't around then, man. He wasn't the problem, let me tell you. It's a great thing. I love the saying, and I love his play on words. And I think he may have copyrighted this or something. He was telling me, but we're going to get him on here and all. And I feel so bad I'm doing like a half-ass attempt at this, but I wanted to get it on. I tried to last week and failed, but he was nice enough to give me a hat. And I said I'd bring it on and try to help him out. So he's doing nothing for the channel. He's not helping us. Nothing like that. I just wanted to do something nice for him, and it's always good to help those that are just trying to get started, like Rabbit Hole here. Rabbit Hole Reviews started a channel. He came on and he says, "Hey, can I talk about my channel on here?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." Now he's taking complete fucking advantage of it, but just kidding, man. But oh, and sorry. I try to keep the swearing down here. I really do. And I'm sorry about that. You guys, some have kids probably watching. I am sorry. I apologize. Santa will not bring you anything if you do such things. Wear red glasses, that is. Anyhow, yeah, I thought I'd show it. What do you think? Think it's cool? Think it's think it what? What do you think? Tell us the truth. You'll help him out too. If you think it's cool, awesome. Maybe he'll branch out, do some other stuff too. I don't know. Oh, I just noticed the red, white, and blue trim up here. I love that. That's awesome. Keep my tags hanging, bro. Yeah. Gotta wear the lid with the tags. All right. Anyhow, yeah, Rabbit, you're probably right about Rob Ski there. And Dale, cool to see you, man. I'm in the National Guard myself, and I'm the nicest E6 ever. Whoa. Where do you report? What state, if you don't mind saying? Some people don't like, so, you know. Let's see. Did I see Orion? I saw Orion in here. Sassy Cow in Wisconsin is great too. Why do I know Sassy Cow? Wait, what were you talking about? Oh, you're talking about the eggnog, right? I've seen it somewhere. I can't remember, and I haven't seen it in a long time. If that's what you're talking about, tell me where you found it. Next time in Michigan, try Calder's Dairy. What town or where? Detroit area? See, now I don't have that much connection with Michigan because my daughter's no longer there. She's in Ohio, but she passes through, and I can run to the UP. But you know how the UP is. We ain't got much, especially on this side. There's not that many people, let alone stuff to serve them. Let's see. Ooh, I just lost it. Here it is. Rock. He's a pit mix. Oh, cool. I got a pit mix. We have one is some type of mountain dog. I think maybe Burmese mountain dog and pit. She looks like a Holstein cow. She's white and black, so she fits up perfect up here, with all the cows we got and everything. But she looks. I call her Moo Cow. And oh my God, she is the most jealous dog of the other ones. And she wants to be right up next to me. She will not let the other ones get close to me. And my English Mastiff, my female, she's my oldest dog. And that's my baby, my English Mastiff. And I feel bad. I got to push her away because my English Mastiff is at an age where she's kind of back down, even though she's the matriarch and much bigger, and lazy. But she'll just let it go on. And I look at her and she's just giving me the eyes. I'm like, no, you're still number one. Get over here, because she ain't got that many years left. She's 11 or 12 now. And, she's a big Mastiff. She's not huge like you would think English Mastiff, but she's still $150, somewhere around there. She's a big girl. And they're the best dogs in my mind ever. I will have another one. My problem is I don't want the 3 and 4 dog thing anymore, but I really want a hunting dog because my Weimaraner, we had to put him down about 6 months ago. So it's the first time almost in my life I've been without a bird dog. And I've been thinking about getting back to German short hairs because I had those before I met my wife, and then she had Weimaraners growing up. So we got a Weimaraners. We had 3, Schernzy, Schatzi, Thor, and Blitzkrieg. Blitzenkriegen. So 4 Weims. And then I had Bow and Arrow were my German short hairs. And I had a female Ginger. She was gun shy. Gave her to a relative. And I had a Springer Spaniel when I first moved to Wisconsin 30 years ago for grouse up here. They were better. But yeah, this is the first time I've been without a gun dog since I was 16 years old. So while I'd love to have one, I really feel like I can't be without an English Mastiff because they are the best dogs ever. And then I get introduced to this new thing, this Burma Doodle, which I always made fun of idiots paying crazy money, like $3,000, $4,000 for what we used to call mutts. But man, it is cute. Holy shit. I give them that. Well, at least Chris doesn't have the walking farts. That grandma's got the walking farts. Where's that? My great grandma, that would happen to her, the one in Minnesota, from the UP in Minnesota. She'd always go, "Where's that cat? Where's that cat?" And then I had a grandma that grew up in Chicago, great grandma. She was the private secretary to Mayor Daley, the real Mayor Daley. So we were a true Chicago family, and city jobs were pretty easy back then. But she just didn't give a rat's patoot. She would just let them. She'd get the walking ones going on. Didn't give a damn. A tough old lady, boy, let me tell you. I won that man urine. Sweet. I have no idea what a man urine is. Man urine. Is that for like hunting does or something? I don't know. It's like buck scent for when you got a doe tag. What is it? Man urine. I don't get that. It's sweet. Ugh. Ugh. How do you know what it tastes like? That's disgusting. There's some strange people around here. Favorite two-stroke? Motor, bike, oil? What? Nothing like the smell of two-stroke in the morning. Here's my favorite two-stroke. Oil, I'll tell you. Well, scent. How's that sound? There is nothing better than the smell of two-stroke Klotz racing fuel in the morning. Oh my God. Klotz brings me back to 1974, 76, YZ80D. Yeah. Now, it never ran too well in our modern bikes when the kids were on 65s, 85 super minis. We always used VP. Yeah. So there's that. Cobras was fun. 50s on Cobras. Man, what a blast. I'd love that. I can't wait for grandkids so I can build up some Cobras again. I had more fun with 50s. Anyhow, I like the Reagan t-shirt that says I smell hippies. I haven't seen that. That PP will be on the channel. Okay, cool. I stopped shilling my channel. Dale YZ250. I gotta say, my favorite two-stroke bike. Well, if I were to ride it, let's say Arma or something now, and going back in the day, even the first, what year was it then? 78. The first monoshock YZ125. Because I remember 79, my best friend got an RM100. And I had bought a YZ125, but it was a year prior, I think, 78, I think. Love that bike, man. But I am a sucker for old Elsinores, like 71, 2, 3, 4 in there. Silver tank with the green stripe, or better yet, the silver with the red stripe. My good buddy had, my good friend, and he's related to, I helped him go get the first YZ, a YZ 340 or 360, aluminum tank. The first year of the big bike YZ, not a 80, a YZ. And it was mint. He restored it to mint. He helped me restore and gave me a Yamaha MX250 so I could race Arma with him. And got it. It was so mint and so perfect with NOS parts and everything. I took it in the woods just to ride a little in the woods where I grew up riding. And the silencer came off. He must have left a bolt loose, and it was weird. I think it was an aftermarket silencer with a spark arrestor. And other than that, it was fine. I got everything tuned real well, running well, and enjoyed riding it. But Arma, I just wasn't that old yet, and I wasn't ready to go back and let those horrible suspensions beat the living hell out of me. So I think the furthest back I'd go would be 78. I don't mind the four-strokers now, but I have a hard time. The body and brain is tuned to not having that engine braking of the four strokes. And my ears and shifting and all of that are still tuned into two strokes and riding high up in that power band. And here's your throttle, right? This ain't the throttle. The clutch is the throttle. Yeah, that's how I taught my son to ride too. And he's damn fast. Matter of fact, in his day, the national supercross champion, he beat routinely. They raced together in the same class coming up. And Yeah, he's a fast kid. Very, very fast kid. Um, but my daughter rides like Barsha. She bounces off that rev limiter, man. You never know it was a girl ride until she took her helmet off. Let me tell you, she rides like a man, and that's a compliment. This girl is insane fast. Yeah, national championships, everything. We lived at a training facility full time down in Georgia a few years back, and it was a lot of fun. And that ended our 15-year run when she retired. And it was a lot of fun and a lot of great memories. And I say to this day, it's why my kids are so good because they were with me every weekend, all the time, riding, racing. They had more friends when we pulled in a track in Texas than they did pulling in at home to a track. And yeah, we loved it. We lived it, breathed it. Monday morning, my wife was the parts manager. She'd get on the phone and get the parts coming and all the replacement. I'd build engines and everything all week, and then head out on a Friday night, not pull in the driveway till Sunday night. Or if you're going to a national, pull out of the driveway and not be home for 10 days. And yeah, it was a ton of fun. I wouldn't trade it for the world, and I can't wait to do it with grandkids. Anyhow, yeah, I was partial to YZs, but I've always liked Honda. My daughter raced Hondas. Let's see. Farm in Carlton sold the big stores. Okay. Our Mastiff only made it to 10. That's a shame. Hey, DB Cooper. DB's in here? I didn't see him. 73 Yamaha SC 500, 7500 CR250. There you go. Man, dude, a, a CR 250, a two-stroke 250. Guys today don't even know what that power was like. To hit that power band and keep the front wheel on the ground was a full-time job. And even the 450s don't have the snap of that today. Now, a 450 today, you can pretty much ride any track in second gear, maybe third gear, and clear a triple just out of a corner like nothing. But a 250, how about the service Hondas, the 500s? Two-stroke. Think about that. I know a guy that runs the local AMA that races one in old fart class. Let's see. Klotz. Yeah, you never heard of Klotz? You never heard of Klotz. You spelled it right, so you must know. My 250 was green stripe on a tank. Yeah. I went to, where did we go to get that? I went with my brother-in-law. I think we went to Indiana and bought one. Mint. But I think that one was a 125. He had a collection to end all collections. I mean, it looked like a Honda and Yamaha dealer in the 70s. He had like 7 to 10 years worth of every CT70 ever made, all the Z50s, XR75s, YZ80s, Elsinore 125s, 250s, YZs, all brand new, perfect, spotless. He has a Honda Dream in a glass case over his pool table. He's got a little Yamaha Enduro right now. He sold off a lot of them, but I'm telling you, everything was new old stock. If he had to replace something down the spokes, I mean, better than they came out of the factory. Incredible. I'll show you some pictures next week. Really neat. Jardinero, smoke them if you got them. I will, thank you. Anybody want to do Blade of the Week? We haven't done Blade of the Week continually, but this was a knife I got when I first started collecting. And somehow I got into pocket knives because of my father-in-law. He loves knives, and I've never seen a man with more knives in my life, but he'd occasionally just walk up and do one of these, drop it in my hand. He's like, here, Sonny. He calls me Sonny. Here, Sonny. Check this out. Here's one for your collection. Or here, you keep it. You like it? Keep it. Well, this got me started on this brand, first of all. And this is a Let me make sure it's what I'm thinking it is. Yeah, it is. Let me pop it open here real quick, and then I will show it to you. I want to read the thing here. It's hard to see even with these readers on. So, how many of you have heard of the brand Hen and Rooster? So, it's an iconic old brand of pocket knife, and they happen to use a steel that's called Solingen steel from Solingen, Germany. Many will tell you that it's the finest knife steel in the world. Um, I think some of the Chinese may be stamping that and faking it on some of theirs, but the Chinese knives have come quite a ways now. Frost Cutlery brings in a lot, and there's some better brands and some not so better brands. But this is a Hen and Rooster, and it's a cellophane, what I call a cellophane knife. But there's another name for these scales too. But here, uh, this happens to be like a swirl, a red and teal. And they'll do a series of knives like this in all different colors of these plastic scales. And I call them cellophanes. Some are clearish. These are kind of clearish. This was a really unique color, kind of. And at first, I'm like, oh, God, that thing's kind of ugly, right? Here's the other side. But silver bolsters on both sides. Well, brass bolsters and silver caps. But this is, I like trappers, but this isn't a trapper. This happens to have 3 blades. There's the Hen and Rooster little logo. Let me see if I can get it to show well. Can you see that, guys? It's a hen and a rooster. Anyhow, there's that one. And then here's the matching one. So a little guy. And it's the same thing, hen and rooster, except this one's filthy from being in my pocket. But I use them. Yeah, this one's got all kinds of goop all over it. But this is a nice little knife. And it's got the same color scheme. And they made them in 100 different color schemes. But there's something out there for everybody, is what I'm telling you. And a lot of these old brands are new again. You know, there's a lot of them out there. If you ever get down to, I think it's Sevierville, Tennessee, which is near, what is that, Pigeon Forge there? I think it's Pigeon Forge. Just outside it's Sevierville, Sevierr. Bud's Gun Shop is there too. You've all heard of Bud's, right? You'll be disappointed if you go in the store. There's not much there. It's mostly internet. But there's a place there called Smoky Mountain Knife Works in Sevierville. And if you like knives and guy stuff, I call it jewelry store for men. Plan on spending the day there. Plan on spending a solid 5 hours there. If you remotely like knives and don't get bored too quickly, you can spend all day there. It's filled. You'll come in and you're going down one area, and there's the I don't know. There's the Schrade store, and then there's the Buck store, and then there's the Hen and Rooster store, and what's that new brand? Cold Steel. There's the not new brand, but there's a Cold Steel store, and on and on and on and on and on. You know, the Case store, and each major manufacturer has an entire section that's just theirs. And while it's not run by people from the individual brand, there may be a rep there, but it's run by Smoky Mountain Knife Works. They do knife making classes. They sell knife making kits, knife sharpeners. Other cool thing is there's a lot of surplus. As you're walking through, there'll be bins in the middle of all kinds of surplus stuff, anything from AK pouches to canteens to bayonets to you never know what you're going to find. And they figured it out because you say, well, I'm in Pigeon Forge or Sevierville or whatever. I'm on vacation with my family. How am I going to get the wife to go along with this if I'm going to go down there for 4 or 5 hours? Well, if you got sons and daughters, you could send mom and the daughters somewhere, get their nails done, and you and your sons could go there. Or you could bring them along with because they're smart. They did the whole lower level is all women's stuff, cooking and cutlery for that, and gadgets for the kitchen, and cookie making mixes and all that kind of crap, right? Soup mixes and touristy stuff, but all women. Special collectible measuring spoons and aprons and all that kind of stuff. So you can send mom and the girls down there, and the boys can go upstairs, and you can both spend a few hours checking out some of the coolest stuff you'll ever see. And if you don't walk out of there with at least 2-3 knives, you're not an American. You might be, I don't know. What's a good country? Oh, Malaysian? I don't know. No, I don't know. I'm just saying it's as America as it comes, and you will fully enjoy yourself. I've had to concoct stories for my wife when I walked out of there, and had my brother-in-law carry the bags. I've had all kinds of stuff, and he's done the same. We're both trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to get this by without her freaking out on us? But, oh man, the last time he caught the bad end last time, this was a few years back. And I got home, or we got back to his house, and I don't know how it came up, but something came up about what he bought and how much, and she blew off the handle. Oh my God. I felt so bad for him. It was one of those, yeah. Okay, we're going to go out in the kitchen. We'll see you later. But something happened. Somebody said the wrong thing at the wrong time, and somehow he got busted out on it. It wasn't fun, but it was worth it. That's all I'll say. Yeah, go there. If you can get there, Sevierville, Tennessee. Smoky Mountain Knife Works, awesome place. I wish I could get a sponsorship from them. Not that we're a knife channel, but it's cool. Oh, they got ammo too. And at certain times during the tough times, a lot of people didn't see them as a place to get ammo. And I jump on their website and looky here, 9mm for $178 1,000. Now this is going back 2 or 3 scares ago, but yeah, I was able to get some of the last cheap 9mm back then from them, and yeah, so cool place to go. Let's see, 214 pounds stock. Damn, that's some stout weight, ain't it? Now they're like nothing. Rabbit is in Virginia too. I have a Martyr box knife from Solingen. Cool. Borrowed it permanently from a previous employer. Been to Smoky Mountain Knife Works a couple times. Isn't it awesome, Ross? That is a cool place. I seem to remember the last time. I haven't been there in quite a few years. Outside of Chattanooga, along whatever that main highway is runs through there. Is that 75? I don't know. Frost Cutlery, who's a big importer of a lot of the Chinesium knives and all, and some of it's gotten better, but they also have Case and a bunch of other stuff, and they have like a factory outlet place right off the highway near a little town called Ooltewah, OOL. You can see it from the highway, and if you're ever going through there, pull off and go in. They got quite a bit of stuff, nowhere near Smoky Mountain Knife Works, but cool place, and you'll find stuff that, maybe you had a knife 3-4 years ago that you loved and lost and you can't find anywhere. They may have it, stuff like that. And they've got some different specials and stuff. I got a bunch of election hats there a couple of elections ago, and some other cool stuff. Just you never know what you're going to find. I've got a really cool Gerber saw from there. A lot of neat stuff. So yeah, Tennessee's loaded with places like that. But Frost Cutlery, they make a lot. Well, they're better than gas station knives and not quite as good. I will say the Chinese can sharpen them like a mother, though. Let me tell you, they do a nice job there. Um, I might start a live stream on my channel after this chat ends. Anyone interested? Dude, man, oh man. I'm going to start charging you. It's going to get expensive too. It's not going to be none of this $5 crap, you know. I might be rabbit. No, Chase, you're not allowed. Sorry. Nope. Nope. Gonna have to wait till he falls in line. Okay. Gotta fall in line. Presents in preps to head south Thursday might be up a while still. Nobody has commented on this Polish RPK. So it's a Century offering. I assume put together by Century, but on Polish military kit, dated 76. From what I can tell, it was like a fairly large offering from Century. Well done. What's the thing worth? What do you think? What do you think? Any ideas? What do you think, guys? Come on, somebody's got to know, have an idea. It's on consignment. They're asking 1,500. In AES 10B, if you could find one, or if Century brought them back out, or imported some more, not brought them back out, I'll bet a dollar for donut that they'll get 1,800 for them, right? Because what are they getting for the PSLs if you can find one? 2,500 maybe. Hey, it's an RPK military kit, well built, and it comes with a backloading Romania Chinese drum. Shit, that's $7,500, right? And maybe you get them down a little. I think that'd be a steal at maybe even at 1,500, but 14, 13, 1,200, right? Is it worth having? Would you guys buy a Century Polish built RPK if it fell in your lap? Yes, no, maybe so. PSLs for 2,500. I know it is. I agree. I remember when they couldn't give them away and you could get them for the price of a Wasser, you know? And now you can get them with your official Russian scope on your Romanian gun, you know? PSLs for 20. Dale, no, not worth 1,500. Why do you say that? Do you say that because it's a Century thing? Remember, it's not a Century made gun like a Vishka or what was the other one? The CZ, whatever they did. They did their milled version and their stamped version. Yeah, those were junk. They're all American AK. Those were junk. But their parts kit guns were not bad guns. Here's another one. So M70AB2, right? Great Century gun. Great gun. It was my first gun. They put out a second batch 3-4 years ago. Great guns. They were subbed out, built by other people on military parts kits, new barrels. Great guns. Can't knock Century on those. There was also the M70AB1 that they built on military parts kits, fixed stock with the grenade launcher and everything. I found one brand new, used, but brand new, not unfired, for right around, I think, $1,200 or $1,000. I think that's a pretty good buy too. With the military numbered stock, the wood and everything, you know, matching kit. Pretty nice. What do you guys think of that? I'm just asking your opinions. I think I'd almost rather have the M70AB1. Really nice. Because I love the grenade launcher, and Essentially, it's a ZPAP or an OPAP back then. These came out when the OPAPs were out, which is now the ZPAP, except back then they didn't have the chrome line barrel. But this was the military kit gun version of it. But you got the grenade launcher sight, the night sights, the military wood. Uh, yeah, they were great guns. Great guns. You got to remember the OPAPs didn't come with the grenade launcher sight. So the ultimate is to do what Misha did, and that's to get an OPAP, which is the original military gun with no chrome line barrel. And for those of you that think you got to have a chrome line barrel, you don't. You go, the only time they put chrome lining in a gun, on a military gun, was on their 223 guns. And now the ZPAP, the chrome lining, the only reason they did that was for the American buyer. At no time did they do it for a military, including their own, ever, other than on the 223 gun. You don't need it. And guess what? All their ammo was corrosive. Oh my God. How did they do that and not end up with a sewer pipe barrel? Boy, this chrome lining stuff with America is just, I see guys will fight tooth and nail. You gotta have it. No, you don't. No, you don't. It doesn't make it better or worse or anything. Sure, maybe it's harder. It'll last a little longer, but I mean, you're not going to shoot out a regular one. So who are we kidding? Plus, it's more original, like the military version. So the thing to do was to get an OPAP and replace the front sight block, front gas block with the grenade launcher sight block, right? Or gas block. And then you had the Zastava built gun in all its glory with the proper grenade launcher front gas block, and then put military wood on it. And you had as close to as you have a Zastava made military gun. That was the it is the original at that point. You know, you've got the military wood on it. Yeah, the serial number won't match on the wood, but you've got the exact gun. Misha did that. It's in a few of his videos. That's the way to do it. Find an OPAP and do that. But if you don't want to dick around with all that, you can get the original military parts kit gun put together by a subcontractor of Century with an American-made barrel, and already has the military wood and gas block and everything. So it's 6 of one, half dozen of another, except if you do the OPAP, you're getting the original Zastava barrel, you know? So that's a cool way to do it. You know, Yugos did end up with a lot of sewer pipes, those kits, but you got to remember a lot of those guns that were demilled and sent over as kits when they were still coming with barrels, before the barrel, you know, once a machine gun, always a machine gun thing. Those were literally battlefield pickups. You know, that Civil War was something, guys. Talk to anybody that lived it, which I know several personally. And those guns, they were run hard and put away wet. But that's besides the point. The ones that were upkept, you know, while they were in service and that are currently in service, there's nothing wrong with not having a chrome lining, even using corrosive ammo. Now, we don't use corrosive ammo, and you're not, your gun's not out in the rain and the mud and getting tossed around on a battlefield. You know, you'll be just fine. And it's what the original is. I saw that Zastava is selling underfold. Yeah, I saw that too. That's a joke. Underfolder adapters that allow you to turn a fixed stack Yugo to an underfolder. Any thoughts? Yeah, I saw it. There's better underfolder adapters, first of all. I did one for my dad. My dad's actually got a pretty rare AK. It's an M70. Let me think about this one. M70 AB2T. There's a T in it. It was put out by Century. They had a small amount of kits, and here's what these guns were. So when the M70 came out, it and I got to tell, it's been so many years since I told this story. I got to make sure I get it straight. And Misha will confirm this story as well. But I got to think through it for a second here because one came before the other, and I just want to make sure I get it straight. So, and the M70 came out, well, actually different model number, but originally the Yugo guns came out, the underfolders came out as milled guns, right? Like the one you see hanging behind 28 EDU. And they were great guns, right? And to add to that, the Yugos have always had a penchant for launching grenades, right, from their rifles. They love to launch grenades for some reason and wanted on just about everything they do or did. So they came out with the milled versions of them. And when they decided that, wow, these things take a long time to make and they're expensive and all because of the milled receivers, they switched over to a stamped gun, the M70. Now, the original M70s, for a very short period of time, we're talking a year or two, maybe at the most, were not the 1.5 millimeter receivers, okay? They were 1 millimeter receivers without bulge trunnions. Essentially what we would know here as an NPAP or the early ZPAP. When ZPAP first came out, it was a non-bulge trunnion gun. What happened was Century was importing Zastavas. They had the NPAP. Well, when Zastava took their guns away from Century, or Century gave them up, whatever happened, and Zastava decided to start importing their own, they couldn't take the word or the name NPAP. That belonged to Century. So they made it the ZPAP. But when Zastava was first bringing in the ZPAP, it was nothing different than the NPAP. It was a non-bulged trunnion, straight 1 millimeter receiver with a non-chrome lined barrel. It wasn't until later, the second round, that they came out with the bulge trunnions. And then finally, what you know now is the ZPAP as the bulge trunnion 1.5 millimeter thick receiver, chrome lined ZPAP. That's what everyone thinks is a ZPAP. But the ZPAP went through stages. It started off just like an NPAP. So don't think that they're all that. Anyhow, so Zastava and the Yugoslavian military decide that it's too much money to do the milled receiver, and they're going to try out stamped. So that when they try out stamped, they start out with a 1 millimeter receiver. Well, they're launching grenades, and what happens? The receivers are cracking. So they went to the 1.5 millimeter receiver and the bulge trunnion guns. So there was a year or two between the milled and the bulge trunnion stamped gun where you had these thin receiver, non-bulge trunnion M70s. And Century got their hands on some of these kits. Not very many, but some. And everybody was like, what are these things? Well, Century's model number was M70AB2T. I think there might have been M70AB1T as well, but I've seen in person the AB2Ts. I knew about them, right? And I knew the story that, for a year or two there, Zastava made for the Yugoslavian government these 1 millimeter non-bulge trunnion guns for the Yugoslavian military. It failed, and they stopped making them. But when you only make a gun that they've made millions of for only a year or two, it becomes a little rare. Now, just because a gun's rare doesn't make it collectible. There's got to be some uh, want for the product, right? Well, when you got a bulge receiver gun, who wants the thin one, right? Or the one that failed. But if you're a true collector of Yugo guns, well, that's kind of neat that, hey, for a year or two, they put these out. And yeah, they were cracking because from launching grenades, but it's still in the evolution of it. There's not a lot of them, probably less than just about anything else out there. And here Century comes up with some of the kits. So when they rebuilt them on 1mm receivers and put them out, they referred to them as the M70 AB2T. And at the time, back in the day when they came out, I knew kind of to avoid them, right? I wanted the bulged trunnions and all that. Well, at one point in my collecting, I wanted to get my hands on a mass amount of these M70 AB2Ts. Or AB2s, I'm sorry. I just had a feeling that, these aren't Century guns. These are put together by other companies, and they're really nice for what they are. You could get them for $399, $400, $450. Always, I would never pay over $500, even after they thinned out and you couldn't walk in the gun shop and just buy 3 of them if you wanted. You could still get them well under $500, and anytime I saw one, I would buy one. Well, I come across an auction somewhere, and I read it real quick, and I bid on it, and a day later I see, oh, I won. Oh, awesome. I got an M70 AB2. So it was on the western side of Wisconsin. So I figured I'll take a day drive. I'll go over there, right? So I go to pick it up, and I walk in the gun shop. I say, hey, I won it, blah, 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 blah. He hands it to me, and I look, and I go, oh, shit. I pull up my phone, and I look at the auction, and sure enough, he disclosed it. It's the T. I missed it. And I'm like, damn it. But, oh, well. I think I paid $400 for it or something. So I get it home, and I shoot it, and it shoots fine, and it's okay gun, but not thinking much of it, right? And then I'm watching a Misha video where he's telling about this. I'm like, that's kind of cool. And I do a little more research and all of that good stuff. And come to figure that, well, there's not a lot of these things, right? So it was an underfolder, hence the M70AB2. And my dad wanted an AK at the time, but he didn't want the underfolder. So this is a really long way to go, but to get back to your underfolder adapter thing. But cool story in the meantime. So I took that M70AB2T and bought an underfolder adapter by, I think it's a Rifle Dynamics, maybe. I'll have to look next. I'll have to pull it out of the safe, and I'll have to take a look and see what model it was. But it worked really well, this adapter. And we put an M4 style stock on it for him, and it was set up just how he wanted it. It's got an AB2, it's got a BD2 muzzle brake. It's got a ALG trigger in it. It's got a Krebs safety in it. It's got an M4 stock and the adapter, switching a underfolder to a fixed stock. What else did I do? ALG springs. I don't know, a few other things. And beautiful trigger on that gun. And my dad loves it. And I did everything I did to that gun. I left it so I can kind of put it back, just because there's not a bunch of them out there. And it tells a story of an in-between gun, right? Misha's got a cool video on it, talking about, the evolution of the Yugoslavian military rifles, and that's part of the story. So if you ever run across one of those, you'll know what it is. It's not just that it was some sort of NPAP or anything. No, it was the military kit of that short period in time when they made a non-bulge trunnion gun as the military gun when they went away from milled receivers. So there's something, a rare little bit of knowledge you can toss in your cap and impress somebody with one day. But yeah, as far as those Zastava underfolder adapters, I looked at them and I looked at, yeah, no. See, I think they might have, well, I don't know what their thought process was, but I told you guys, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 months ago that you would be seeing an underfolder come out from Zastava. And frankly, I thought it would be out already, but I got a feeling you might just see it at SHOT Show this year. I don't know. Maybe. I think you will. I could be wrong, but who knows? If they do, oh man, that's the gun, right? I love M70 underfolder. I just love them. Great guns. Anyhow, let's see. Who else? I've been to 4 local gun shops. None of them had 32 ACP. Really? You'd think that'd be all over the place. I think I need some spigots and dummy grenades. Yes, you do. It's always fun to go in the backyard and launch a few of them suckers. And my Yugo SKS, yes. Gotta love the ginormous spigots on those, right? Permanently mounted. I had to get 32 HCP at a gun show only to find the pistol will not fire surplus M70 pistol. That sucks. Sucks. I'd be tempted on that adapter, but I do love my classics. Don't, Chase. Don't screw it up. And there's better adapters out there, way better. I'll have it for you next week. But don't do it. Just wait for it, or go get yourself an M70 AB2. Just go get one. They're great guns. Don't forget it says Century. If anybody tells you it's not good or a junk, they don't know what they're talking about. They really don't, because those are some fabulously built guns. Yeah, that's what I said. Zastava needs import and underfolder. They absolutely do. They would fly off the shelves. No, it's, well, as far as 922R goes, no, because, well, let me think about it. No, because ZPAPs, you could get ZPAP underfolders built by Zastava and brought in here. Now, maybe to get a new model in, maybe they're giving them a hassle now, but Century was importing ZPAP underfolders. You could find them at Fleet Farm up here after Century quit importing and Zastava was doing its own thing. They had underfolder NPAPs for a year or more, and at one point they were down to like $350. I told you guys, I shoot my NPAP probably more than any other AK I have. I bought it just so I could literally leave it in the truck to bang around and get rusty and always shoot the piss out of it. And it's accurate as could be. It works always. No cracks. You know, everybody thought the NPAPs cracked like crazy. No, the gun's fabulous. Nothing wrong with them. Show me a Yugo gun, any of them, and I'll show you a great gun. It could be, it's not a 922R issue specifically because they've been brought in as complete guns. But it could certainly be an ATF issue somehow. God only knows, right? Hattori, I will be in Vegas when SHOT Show is going on. Know a guy in the business with passes, but I cannot get on the list. Well, if you know someone in the business with passes, can he get you one? I wonder how I go about doing it as press. I mean, if you have an official channel and all, can't you get in as press? Just show them those credentials? I would think so. One year I had something where I could have went with Krebs, but I don't know how filled up he is now, but I could ask him. But I think I could get in as press if you have a legitimate channel. I mean, the channel's been around long enough. We got a bunch of subscribers. I would think I could get in. I don't know. Hattori Hanzo, is it one of the recent email selling surplus? Negative. I bought from Arguns over a year ago. I think the firing pin might be broken and channel filled with Cosmo. Zastava needs to bring in the M72. You guys get hung up on some of this stuff. I still want to find a decent Beretta 81 to go with my CZ 5032 ACP is just fun. I don't think I've got anything in 32. I will follow up with that. I think I would have to be employed by him. Yeah, but that's easy speasy bullshit stuff. I got an M85 MP. It takes AR-15 mags. Not many people like them, but I love it. See, yeah, that's a Zastava gun that took the, it's a 223 gun, and they had the adapter on it. Yeah, those were kind of wonky. But yeah, Rob Ski's got a cool video on one of those. If you go check out some of his old videos. Still very accurate, takes most AR-15, and Misha, of course, has some. Zastava recently came out with the underfolder stock. Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. Somebody brought it up, and they asked me what I thought. I looked at the design of it really quickly, and I've actually converted a gun years ago using one. I want to say it was a Rifle Dynamics setup, but I can't remember. But it worked really, really well. It actually, Rob Ski was selling them on his website for a while, and that's the one I got. It worked really well, solid as a rock. But this Zastava one, don't get me wrong, guys, I love Zastava, but some of their accessories fall short, and this one doesn't look. Why would you want to do it? Don't bother. Just wait. They're going to come out with one. Or, like I said, go get an M70 AB2T, or AB2, not a T. Just go get one of those, and you'll be really happy. Yeah, that's what I would certainly do. Do you have any Polish AKs? No, I don't. If you just jumped in, I found today an RPK at a local joint, and it's Polish. Although it's a Century, I don't think it was an import. I think they built them on military parts kits. An M64, maybe it was called. They're my Century's model. It's an original Polish military parts kit dated 1976, put together by Century or one of their subcontractors on an American receiver, American barrel. Done really, really well. I don't know when Century brought these in. I think it was about 2013. I don't remember them back then, and I haven't heard of any or seen one before. I was kind of shocked to see it. I'm like, when did Century do this? Now, before you go saying, oh, Century junk, please, on some of their military guns where they bought a bunch of kits and put them together, they subbed all that stuff out. And a lot of it are great guns. And I've been talking about the M70 AB2, which is a fabulous Century gun. You go underfolded. But this Polish gun, if you know anything about these RPKs, somebody please comment. Were they decent? Obviously the parts are decent because they're military parts kits. I looked it over closely. Rivets were done nicely. Everything's done well. It cycles smoothly. Bipod's nice. Everything. The wood is, I think the owner of this gun redid the wood on it, but really nice looking gun. And considering what some of the stuff goes for, it's a consignment. They're asking $1,500 for it. To me, that sounds cheap with today's prices. From what I understand, Poland never made an RPK. That's where the confusion was for me too. And then I thought I saw an Izzy stamp on the trunnion, or Romanian maybe. It had, I bet, you know what? I bet if I look at my Romanian RPK, it's got the triangle with the arrow in the middle. That's not a Polish symbol. That's why I thought, boy, this is kind of weird. And at first I thought it was a parts kit gun somebody had, like Two Rivers or somebody put together. Yeah, Russian Romanian, right? That's what I said. Dated 76. Now my Romanian paratrooper, every Romanian paratrooper kit that came in with the dog handguard and the folding stock RPK, every single one of them was 1979. Uh, According to Misha and according to me, everyone I've seen firsthand, and I've seen quite a few up close. Not many guys have built them into kits yet. There's a few of them out there. Mine's one of them. Mine's Two Rivers did mine. It's gorgeous. But yeah, I thought at first, and then then I look online, and the model number said, everybody said it was a Polish RPK. Kind of strange, but I'll bet Misha'll know a lot. Maybe it comes back to like when Bulgaria first started producing, they were using Russian parts. They were either scrubbed or sometimes not even marked at all. So it could have been something like that, maybe. I got an AES 10B too, but what a boat anchor that thing is. You know what? Here's how the AK obsession goes, okay? You start out with whatever you run into at your local gun shop, right? And you bring it home. And you don't know shit. So maybe you end up bringing home like an IO or a Century or something. And you go, oh shit. But I really like the platform, but I got to ditch this thing. Or you get lucky and you just happen to pick the right gun and go, oh, I got lucky and I got this. And then the obsession starts, and okay, I need this, and I got to get, or it starts with a Wasser, right? And okay, now I got to get some Arsenals, and I got to get my hands on some Zastavas, and now I'll do some of the old ones. I'll get some of that and this and that. And the last thing you want, you look at these RPKs and go, ugh, who wants that boat? Like you said, boat anchor. Who wants that thing? Hideous, right? Big, heavy thing. That ain't an AK. What do I need that? The last thing you want is one of those or a PSL, right? You're like, garbage. I just want my badass AK, or I'm going to do an Arsenal Sam 744, pistol, whatever, or a Draco or something like that. You're all into that. And then one day when you got a whole boatload of them, you go, I just want to do what's different. Look at that. An RPK. And you start watching videos, you start reading, and you start learning. You go, yeah, that's pretty cool. Man, I can put drums in there. Ooh, I don't want those shitty Chinese, Romanian. I'm going to get me some original top loaders, and I'm going to get some 40 rounders, and I'm going to get the matching RPK pouches, and then look at that, a paratrooper Romanian RPK kit. Sure, I'll buy that for ridiculous money and have Two Rivers put it together for a boatload more money. And before you know it, you got an RPK collection. And then you got them out and you're looking at them and polishing them, and you go, God, these things are so damn cool. And they are. They're cool, but they're definitely not what the average AK guy starts out with. That's advanced down the line. You come back to them, right? Because they used to be a dime a dozen. You couldn't give the goddamn things away. Nobody wanted them. And then when the re-release of the AES 10B came, everyone went, ooh, what's that? And then drove the prices up or justified Century's asking price. And that's where we are with PSLs today too. And yeah, so they are cool. If you don't have one, you got to have at least one because they're neat. They just are. They're really cool. They're fun to shoot with iron sights with the adjustable rear. and stretch it out. Try and stretch that sucker out 200, 250, 300, and see what you can do. On the AS10B, you got the side mount. You can put a 1x6 on there and just see how accurate that 24-inch barrel is, or how well you can do it. It's a lot of fun. And hey, it's cool. Hey, is there a better gun to put a binary trigger in? Think about that. Think about that in a SHTF scenario with your little squad of buddies, and you're all got your AKs and ARs, and then you got your LMG, right? And you whip out the RPK with a binary in it, right? That'd lay down some covering fire, wouldn't it? Hey, shoot and move, lay it down. Yeah, there ain't no better gun than that. Or I see someone mention Kavar, so I know probably what they're gonna. Oh no, he's mentioned something else. But or you can go get yourself a Bulgarian RPK for $7,000. What they at one point maybe they brought them down to $5,000 when they couldn't give them away. But yeah, that's a cool gun. I wish somebody knew more about these damn things. I mean, I know a lot about AKs, definitely not all of it, and I haven't come across one of these ever. So when I saw it, I thought, And looking at, 5 years ago, I would have went, are you crazy for that kind of money? But in today's market, 1,500, and if I got them down to 13 or 12, that don't sound too bad. And this thing's in great shape, well put together, well finished, great looking gun. But the markings and what they're saying it is, the model, and what I saw in a brief online search with the Polish thing, I went, that's kind of weird. Okay, someone's talking about Setmiels. I got one of the Markomar Setmies. I love it. Cool little gun. I remember $600 PSLs around 06. Yep. Let me think year-wise. So 06, about 15 years ago. Yeah, exactly. No, they were even cheaper then, right? Well, I'm probably talking 14 or 2003, 4, 5 in there, because that's when I was buying Wassers for $299 and Yugos for $399. And Yugo SKSs were going for $189. Yeah, and PSLs and all the other weird model Romanian guns that they couldn't give away were same thing in that 500 range, right about there. Yeah, so you're probably right, about 600 then, 06. Yeah, but they could have been had as cheap as 500, I think, is about the lowest I ever saw. The Wasser underfolder, I handled one the other day, and I've handled them before. They're the same as they ever were. This particular one didn't look like it went through the newer Cougar quality control that the other Wassers seem to have went through. Although even the newer ones still got scuffs and this and that. And this one was definitely had heavier scuffing than a fixed stock Wasser. Looks like these had been around a while, or were possibly were going to be military weapons, and they said, hey, let's import some of these over. I thought about that too, because I don't have a Wasser underfolder. There's a few out there right now. I should grab one, but I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm really concentrating on reloading and getting this Dylan set up. Here's my Santa. You guys want to know. So I asked Santa this year for a boatload of Dylan products to finish off my 750, the case feeder and some powder checks and all kinds of crap. And then I'm going to add the case trimmer, the power case trimmer. I'm going to build a whole brass processing head for my 750 that will deprime and size and trim or deprime, um, swage the primer pocket, and then size and trim the brass. I'm building one head, so all my brass will run through the press in its brass processing step with one head. Then let's say I do 2,000 rounds like that. Pull that out, put my loading head in, and go to town loading it. I'm sick. There's no point to having a fast progressive press when your brass processing still takes forever. Um, and that's, the cleaning process I got down. But um, doing the brass as far as trimming with a manual trimmer, which I use the RCBS, which is as good as any of them, other than some you put on the drills and stuff. But those are nowhere near as repeatable. The RCBS is perfect every time, same length. You trim the same length every time, and they do make a motor for it, but it's not the best setup. But if you're in a manual trimmer, there is no more accurate, repeatable, better uh, um, shell trimmer than the RCBS. So that's always a great way to go. But it takes a lot of time. And then I use the RCBS case prep center, where I take the military crimp off. Then I use a primer pocket unifier. No, what the hell is it called? Primer pocket. It makes each one uniform, basically, and it cleans it perfectly. So I take the crimp off, I run it on the primer pocket tool, then I chamfer and deburr, and good to go. But it's hard. I mean, guys, well, I washed my hands, but I was doing it right before this. They are black, and I have blisters from doing 300 rounds, and it takes forever. So I have to motorize the whole plan, and it's not cheap to do that. Dillon trim tool, it's like 400 or 500 just for the trimmer. Then you need the trim die. I got a decapping die, no big deal. Then there's a thing called swage it. It takes the place of the primer. The primer position on it. It installs there, and it swages the pockets to get rid of the military crimp. Dillon voids your warranty if you use it, because they say it can crack the frame on it. I've talked to a bunch of people that have done thousands. They haven't cracked the frame, but oh well. I'm going to deep prime it, swage the pocket, trim it, size it, and the trim is so good you don't even need to do the deburring and all. And since the trimming and sizing doesn't have a center ball in it, because that won't work with a trimmer, if you're going to use a bullet dropper on your progressive, you need something that's going to essentially open the neck up a little. But on my loading stage or head, I'm still going to use my sizing die. So they'll essentially sort of get sized twice. And I don't really have to bring the die down all the way to resize the outer part of the case. I can just leave that off a few thousandths and then have the ball come down basically to open the neck up. So that may work too, but that's how I'm going to do it, because I can load like crazy, right? And especially with the case, I'm hoping Santa's bringing me the case feeder for it and a few other things. I really hope the case feeder's coming. If not, I've been prepping a whole lot of brass for nothing, because I want to be ready Christmas morning to install that thing and go play for an hour or two before everybody gets here. But hopefully Santa heard, and that's what they're bringing me. We'll see. But Yeah. All of a sudden, a lot of cool AKs coming around my neck of the woods here, and not pulling the trigger on anything. Let's talk about that Markelmar because I like mine. I bought the set me um, the it's not a folding stock; it's a retractable stock, and I love it. It's really cool. K-Bar has a 5.56 Markelmar set me L Gen 2 for $9.99. That's a good deal at $9.99. It's probably a black one, not the original green. And the L is the fixed stock, right? If I remember right. My AK journey started with a Mac 90, and one thing I never got as of yet was an RPK. Definitely got to try and make that happen. You do. You got to have at least one, and you'll shoot it more than you think. Cool stuff. Mac 90 is a great gun. I only got one Chinese gun. Isn't that strange? Mac 90 would be cool to have because that'd be a good shooter where you wouldn't feel bad shooting it. Shooting my Bakelite side folder is a little, yeah, just because of what the value is on that thing now. But I love my Spanish set me. Very, very cool. Just make sure you use the mags that come with the gun that Markelmar recommends because there's a lot of AR mags that just don't run right in them. They're a little picky on that. So make sure you use those mags. I bought a bunch. They're a common mag. I forget. Probably got some laying right here, but I'd have to go dig through them, and I don't feel like doing that right now. They're Mag. I don't know, but they're easy to find anywhere. Just make sure you use those. Made me think about your Spanish set me video. Yeah, it's awesome, man. For $9.99, that's a steal, dude. Get one. Why not? It's something different. And let me tell you something. Until you shoot a roller delay gun, it'll give you a whole new appreciation. It's so cool, so soft recoiling, really neat. And on that gun that you're talking about, I think that thing has a rail on it. So you can mount a red dot or something. That makes that a very viable platform, man. It's something different, right? Because shooting the same old gets boring after a while. I mean, I love AKs, but I'll shoot the hell out of them, and I'm like, God, I just feel like shooting something else, you know? And okay, we'll go shoot ARs for a while. Now I really feel like shooting something else. And then, what should I shoot? That Marco is a great one, or my Tavor, another great one. Something similar, but the Ace. I mean, there's so much cool stuff out there. Really would like an AUG. I think AUG is one of the next ones on the list. Something very iconic about it. And I want their little scope, even though it's kind of, yeah. Oh. In the 1990s, Yugo SKSs were super rare. They were selling for 16 to 17. Where was this? I'm going to jump in my time machine and fly back there with my boatload of $199 Yugo SKSs I just happen to have stowed away. And I'm going to make me some money. I thought I was going to do well at the last gun show I was at. They were $600 and $700. I thought, shit, I'm going to get a table at the next show. I'm going to do nothing but sell several dozen Moes and Nagants and a whole bunch of SKSs and make me a boatload of money. Hey, Brastar, good to see you here, man. I got a PSL for $550 with the scope, 5 mags, and 440 spam can back around 12. Yes, sirree, Bob. That's about without the spam can. That was a screaming deal in anybody's book. And I'll tell you what, if you're sick of it, I want it. I do want a PSL. I bet yours has the Romanian scope too, doesn't it? Doesn't it? There were Romanian scopes before there were Russian scopes. You can keep the spam can. And hell, you could even keep a couple mags if you want. And I'll tell you what, I'll double your money on it. How's that sound? If it's nice. I just want one. My tiger story pisses me off. I had a tiger done for, what was it, 1500? Not even. Recently, about a year ago. And literally had a place screw me out of it. So I'm not going to talk about it. Yeah, do that set me, dude, for $1,000. Trust me, one day that'll do you well, and you'll like the gun. You'll enjoy shooting it. I enjoy mine a ton. God, I'm jealous. You gotta. Trying to think. You know, I've never shot a PSL. Never shot one. Shot a lot of 7.62 by 54R, but never shot a PSL. I would like to. Opinion on a green machine reloader. RCBS? What about it? What do you want to know? I think at one point RCBS had one called the Green Machine, but they're commonly referred to as green machines. So are you talking about a green machine or are you talking about a certain model reloader? Pretty much anything RCBS makes just works and works well. So I got into reloading from my dad, and he was an IPSC shooter. He was a trap shooter mostly, but for trap we used Posness Warren, and started out with a mech and went to Posness Warren after that, which I still have. But when it came to his IPSC shooting 45s and 9, he reloaded with nothing but RCBS, everything. A rock chucker, which I still have. That's like brand new. I actually just polished the shaft on that the other night. That didn't sound right. But as far as RCBS goes, in my opinion, for single stage loaders, turret loaders, all of that, I don't think you can beat them. Don't get me wrong. There's other good stuff out there. But RCBS is just it. Like their trimmer. It's the most repeatable manual trimmer there is. I thought I got to do a video on this. I see so many videos on trimmers, guys saying, "Oh, yeah, it works well, but I can't get the same measurement every time. It's always a little bit different." Mine is spot on to, I mean, there's zero variation, zero. If I do something wrong or let off a little early, maybe instead of 1.75, I get 1.751. But they're all 1.75. Period. End of story. I mean, it's good stuff. All their stuff lasts. I've never broken anything from RCBS. I've never had anything wear out other than cutter heads, and even those have lasted forever. And their carbide ones do last forever. Everything they make just works and works extremely well. If I were just getting into reloading, I would get a rock chucker kit, or the new one why they did this. So you've had like rock chucker 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think mine's a rock chucker 4, and I have a rock chucker 2 or 3. They went to a new name for it, and I can't remember the name of the new press, but it was to replace the rock chucker as their premier press. Why would you do that after all the success of the rock chucker? Oh, because we just think the name's getting a little stale. What are you, an idiot? You're an idiot. Make it the rock chucker 10 or 12 or 15 and be goddamn happy you can do that because you made such a good product with just updating the on-press priming once in a while, and be done with it. But they came out with this new one. Either way you go, you can still get the rock chucker kit, the ultimate kit it's called or whatever, and you can get this new one same way. Comes with just about everything you need for reloading other than dies and a trimmer. and you are in business. And then you can add from there. You need something to clean brass, maybe a cheap tumbler, which I use. That's the only thing I have that's not, well, until recently with my Dylan stuff, but the only thing I have that is not RCBS is my tumbler, and that is a what the hell is it? The orange and black one, not Lee, whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. And tumblers don't matter, just get one. Even my ultrasonic cleaners are CBS. I just trust them. They work always. But if you're talking about a green machine, I'll watch what you answer back here on it. Banks might start closing accounts of customers who buy too many guns or too. Yeah, they're doing the code thing. And there were reports of them saying that the purchase wasn't approved and stuff like that. When questioned, then they denied it. They said that it had something else to do with something else, but I don't know if I believe them. Yeah, that headline's out there. There's a bunch of videos on it too. You can go watch. At HK93 many years ago, yeah, you should have kept it. That was one of your dumber moves. They're just cool. That delay blowback, it makes for such a smooth, soft shooting gun. Rabbit holes, which is roughly 3,200 today. Yeah. Are they worth the trouble? What, RCBS? Is that what you're talking about? The Green Machine, I think, was a progressive. I've never worked with one. I don't know how hard they are to set up, but like anything else, once you set up a progressive, it's good to go. You're mostly gonna set it up for one or two main calibers. So if you can get it cheap enough, why not? There's nothing. I'll tell you this: they'll stand behind it. I've got the Romanian scope that came with it, and later scored a Russian PO scope, nearly brand new from another YouTuber. Wow. Damn. I really want a PSL just because I have to have one. It's a lateral platform, not like the convention. Yeah. You know, I started watching a video on it let me do a little research on it, and I'll actually, my dad is here. I can ask him, and he is the authority on that stuff. So, yeah, I know what you're talking about, the inline. It's definitely unique and it's cool. Are you getting it from a friend or something? Or I don't think they offer them currently. Used to have a late 90s ad cut out from Shotgun News that had a Finish M93s for $50. Yep. M39s. What did I say? 53s. So shit, when Mosins first started coming in, I'd go down to the local sporting goods store. I knew the guy would let me go through the boxes, and you'd find the occasional Finn rifle in there. Cha-ching! $69. They didn't know what they had back then. Our Guns was bringing stuff in. Century was bringing stuff in. What was the other big importers? I got to look at them. I've been out of that for so long. Lyman, yeah, that's the case shaker I got. That thing, I keep waiting for it to die because it's run all total probably several years straight. And it just keeps going. I keep waiting for the shells in the corn cob to wear through the bowl. And just one day I turn it on and go, everything goes all over the ground. That's how long I've run that thing. It's crazy. I want a progressive. Lee has a new progressive out. I'm a beginner. Did you see a friend of mine sent me I don't have my phone here. Sent me an advertisement for this progressive kit. It's Lee Loader 1000, I think. It's progressive. I started looking into it for a beginner kit for progressive. I think it's at first I was going to tell them, no, don't do it. Cause I just have a feeling of how you should do reloading. And the more I think about it, I'm still torn. So I think everybody should start out on a single stage press just because of the learning curve. Um, I guess it depends where you're at. Do you know a little about machining? Can you measure things well? I mean, measuring sounds easy, but to do it right and do it repeatably and get the correct results, there's a skill to that. It's a lot of things to be learned and a lot of lingo, a lot of different stuff, different ways of crimping, uh, everything. So to me, it makes more sense to start out on a single stage press and learn each stage of loading. Learn it well till you can do it in your sleep. Learn how to build a load. Um, Learn how to develop a load. Um, Learn everything there is to know about each step, how the dies work, what they do, what's built into the dies, what's not built into the dies, all that stuff. Um, Learn the feel of each step. There's You can't go wrong starting with a single stage. I get that you want to crank out rounds. And dude, I cranked out thousands on a single stage press. You just do it 100 at a time, each stage, bum, 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 and you go. Is it more time consuming? Yes. Will you learn more? Will you learn how much a primer pocket needs to be moved to where primers will go in smooth? Because once you do it on a progressive and every primer's jamming it up and you got to take it all apart anyways, yeah, you're not going to be too happy. But for low investment, that Lee sure sounds pretty good. Maybe a Hornady lock and load or something like that. But I'm really happy that I learned everything I needed to know and loaded everything I needed to load on a single stage RCBS, and then went to the best of the best, which is by far Dylan when it comes to progressives, but they are not cheap to get into because everything they show that beautiful reloader on the box. Yeah, everything on it is not included. Nothing. It's everything's extra. And but it is awesome. But there's a lot that I wouldn't know if I had just jumped to that, I think. Maybe I would have. I don't know. Just my thoughts on it. And I almost sound kind of fuddy talking like that, I think, but there's a reason for it. You know what? It's like when I was going to high school and all my buddies were going to public school, public Chicago school, and that's where I wanted to go. All the girls are there. My parents sent me to an all boys Catholic school. Holy shit. Right? Um, I'm really glad they sent me where they sent me. Just I kind of related to that. I think you'd be happier at the end of the day, and you'll have a lot more knowledge stuck in your head at the end of the day. And I don't know. But what do you guys? Anybody agree with me? Disagree with me? Tell me what you think. And I think it depends on your background a little bit too. But you can make a lot of shells on a single stage press. Um, Anyhow, I love old shotgun nooses. I wish I had a collection of them. God, we had piles and piles of them. My dad we had subscriptions to them, and I wish I had a ton. I wish I'd paid $50 for my 39s. Yeah. It's hard to go wrong with our CBS on any of their stuff. Yeah, me too. Wanted to much more to Seiko build on a Tula. Nice. Hard to find one that hasn't been taken that hasn't been taken care of, usually rusty, broken, missing pieces. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I don't get that either. How guys don't take care of reloading equipment and pieces are missing. I mean, it's stuff you got to keep track of, and there's a place for everything. And reloading is not, well, that's what it is. You get guys get into reloading that are not detail oriented, and they realize that ain't going to work too well. And either their ammo don't work too well, or it hurts them or their gun, and they give up on it. And of course, the pieces are wherever. So that's why you find those, because the guys that bought it and continue to reload, and that's, it's a certain type of brain person that reloads. And those people also don't ever give up their stuff. They don't sell it or trade it. They keep it and add more, unless they make a serious boo-boo somewhere and they say, well, I should have bought this, then maybe, but usually they keep it because there's a reason and a progression, and you can always use the old stuff to do this one particular job and that kind of thing. You'll end up with, I'm going to load 9 on this. I'm going to load 223 on this, 308 over here. This one will be a multi-caliber platform, that kind of thing, where you're not setting up and tearing down and all of that. So enjoy it. And try it. You can't go wrong. What's the worst case scenario? If you find a nice one, get it. Anytime you find a nice, like new with all the stuff, just buy it. Most of the time, it's fairly cheap. Pillbox Bunker. What do you say, brother? Good to see you, man. How's the range doing? All healed up? I hope so. We scarred her up pretty good that day, huh? That Hot 6 did its job. Man, I could go for some of those beans right now. A couple dogs. And some cornbread. We'd be all good. And no rainstorm. I wish that rainstorm hadn't kicked up. I would have stayed longer. I was having a good time. I wish I had gotten there earlier. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video. I was thinking, I got footage from the first year. Would you guys like to see a video out on that? I don't have the intro me and 2A did. We shot it on his camera because my battery had died. And he kept promising me he'd send it over, but he hasn't. But no big deal. I get it. We're all busy. But I could certainly put the footage together and do a short little video. There's not a ton of it, but there's some. And it was a good time. If you guys want to see it, let me know and I'll put it together. Yeah, we got Ross in here. We got Pillbox, Dale, a bunch of people in here, man. 40+ year heavy mechanic welder. Yeah, so you know your way around everything. You know how to measure and do. You can jump right to a progressive. I'm not saying you can't. And maybe I'm speaking for, like a kid, young guy getting in his 20s, maybe, where he just doesn't know his way around guns yet, calibers, this, that, the other. It's good. I don't know. Definitely, if you're going to do precision, if you're looking to do precision stuff, not that you can't do precision on a progressive, but if you're looking to do serious precision, there's F-class shooters that are doing precision loads on Dillons. But I still load for my 308 and stuff like that on my single stage. I just do. And it's more it's more the powder measure than anything. Dillon's powder measure is, in my opinion, for shit. It's very clunky and it leaks and I don't know. If there's anything they need to improve is that. Father-in-law still has his rock chucker, right? I got 2 of them, man, and I won't give them up. One I pretty much use for just decapping right now. It's simply because it's mounted over to one end of the bench that's near the wall because I had nowhere else to put it. I'm out of space, and it's hard to get to actually do anything else, but I can decap on it. So I use it for that. Sometimes if I don't want to tear down another one, I'll just set something up over there. But yeah, can't go wrong with a rock chucker. You can find those check Craigslist, man. You'll find somebody clean out a basement with a rock chucker and a bunch of other equipment for $50. And you buy a few boxfuls of reloading stuff. And between 3 boxfuls, you'll have everything you'll need and then some, and you'll get some good buys in there too. Anyone ever heard of Astra Constable 2 380? Yes, I have. And recently, where the hell did I see that? Oh my God. I read it and I had never, I'm like, Astra Constable. It was either at that local gun shop I visited today or an ad on Gun Broker today. I saw it today. Just have 3 single stage presses. One is 1960s RF Wells. That is my favorite. There is a company. I ran into the president. They are in a little town called Lanark, Illinois. Forster. They've been around a while. They make presses. They make everything. But they make some really neat little tools that not everybody makes. They solve little problems. And all their stuff is really nice. He came and bought a motorhome from me and handed me his card. And I said, "You look familiar." Like I had run into him at a gun event somewhere or something. And I thought it was the Manticore Arms shoot that I ran into him, because that's out that way. And he looked really familiar. And I'm sure that's when he didn't remember me, but when he handed me his card, I went, "Oh God." And I think he just retired or sold off the company, or he's stepping down or something. But what a cool company. I would check out some of their presses too. My cousin just bought one of their presses and he's loving it. Absolutely loving it. And the quality is super high. And great customer service. I called over there just to ask a question, and like the girl answering the phone was like, knew everything I needed to know. I was shocked. Still have my least single stage of loaded thousands of rounds, but none since the component shortage. Primer still unicorn. They're still rare in Wisconsin, and they're rare in Illinois. Although I picked up, what did I get? Oh, I bought 1,000 small pistol primers from Argentina online. And I got 1,000 large rifle primers at that gun show last week that are probably 8 years old or so, but they're fine. And I paid $80 for them, but typically I'm seeing between 100 and 120 1,000. But they're still hit or miss. Small rifle, there's seems to be more of than anything. Everything else is still rare. Guess what else? No red dot powder anywhere to be found. I have not reloaded a shotgun shell in 2 years because there's no red dot. And my Posness is set up for that, and I'm not changing it. I talked to a reloading component guy at that gun show. He said he hasn't seen any red dot in 2 years. What the hell is going on? There's everything else. There's no red dot, green dot, or blue dot, he said. I mean, red dot, come on, the most popular shotgun powder on the planet, and can't find any? I mean, there's none, nowhere. Astra's made in Spain, yes. I have a mag for the 22LR Astra Constable. I wonder if that gun, I've got an Ivor Johnson 22 auto. And, a lot of those guns were made by one company, name stamped on another. I wonder if that's it, or if the Ivor Johnson was onto its own. Because I've seen other mags that look just like the ones that go in the Ivor Johnsons. Just curious. I don't know. I've had a Forester case trimmer forever. How's it work for you? Good? I have a hard on for case trimmers because God, I hate prepping brass so much now. I can't wait to get this Dillon power trimmer that goes on my progressive and go to town. Watch some videos on that sucker. That's the way to do it. Uh, Interviewing Forrester and reviewing products I got his card here. I'll have his name next week for you. Um, I wonder if seems like the kind of guy that even though he's president of a company would go to the show, and be right there. I just looked at one I bet it's the same one on Gunbroker. It was this morning though, and it was coming. The auction was ending within a few hours. Interesting. So nobody's answered me on this Century RPK that's not an AES 10B. It's 64 is Century's model, and they say it's Polish, but yet it's got Romanian markings on it. And it's not an AES 10B. And it's a military kit. $1,500 asking. Local shop that's got on consignment. I like RPKs, but I don't know if that's something. Yeah, I don't know. See, people like the Century AES 10Bs. Why? Because they're the real deal, right? Made in the Cougar plant and everything. But they hate them. It's a shame they get a bad rap for their own production stuff, like the Vishka and the other stuff. But the CV. But yeah, they're kit guns that aren't bad. They get the same rep for. Forester trimmer is a hand crank lace setup. Yeah, I like the RCBS, so I'm sure it works good. Got it when I was developing lows for 22-250. 22-250. The world's biggest powder hog 22 cartridge on the planet. But man, that's a fast bullet. Get that sucker trucking, huh? My buddy just got. I told you last week about the guns my buddy got from the family member. One's a 22-250. He wants me to make him some loads for that thing. So we'll see. I told him as soon as you get the powder and primers, man, I'm off to the races. But he doesn't get the component situation. He just thinks I can just whip them out. No big deal. Which I can. It's just a component issue. Anyways, guys, I wish you guys had some news for me on that Polish. And then there's also that M70AB1, which is interesting the hell out of me. I should do that just because. 220 Swift, bigger and faster. Oh, cool. I never looked into those small, super fast powder hog cartridges, but they are interesting. They're all interesting. They all have their cool points. I mean, that's why we love them, right? Gives us something else to futz with. Anywho, yeah, I wish somebody had some on that. Maybe if it's still there, I may do that M70AB1 to match my AB2. That way I got the fixed stock. I always wanted one or an OPAP, and I basically got an OPAP with my ZPAP, right? So why not grab that, because it's got the grenade launcher on it and stuff. And cool. And you don't see them floating around too much anymore, let alone brand new in the box. So that would be cool. I'm glad you guys are asking about the reloading. That's really cool. Glad a bunch of you guys are into it. I'm enjoying this, Dylan. Hopefully I get all my cool add-ons come Christmas morning, and I can get back to concentrating on guns rather than building out this whole progressive system. If I knew how many components and pieces and money I'd have to spend to get this Dylan all wrapped up, holy cow. Don't get me wrong, it's fabulous, but it ain't cheap, let me tell you. But once you got it all put together, it's a no-brainer, man. That thing is just a machine, let me tell you. Great, great stuff and great customer service and everything else. Can't go wrong. Anyhow, guys, I certainly appreciate it. This is the last live stream before Christmas. So I got to come up with another good idea for a video like I did last Christmas. I thought that last Christmas video was pretty good. If any of you remember it with the ammo delivery, if you remember, that was awesome. Yeah, come up with another good idea. We'll see. I might save it for Christmas morning or something. I'll drop it. But hey, like I said, I wanted to thank you all for a great year. We passed the 1,000,000 views, uh, uh, 7,000 subscribers. I know it's not a lot, but they clamped down hard. We were flying along and it beep, dead in its tracks. That wasn't due to you guys, lack of spreading the news, not any fault of mine. It's just what YouTube did. Well, it was bad timing too with what I had go on with my son passing and all too. So I wasn't getting videos out. So it slowed us down a bit. But the numbers were impressive, none the least. And I owe it all to you guys. Thanks for showing up and coming to hang out. I hope that's how you feel this is, just a hangout and talking about what you guys are talking about, adding my 2 cents in and having fun. You know, we discover things together, we figure things out together. You guys bring up stuff I never would have thought about and lead me down. Trust me, I get off of here and I start looking, I'll be looking up Spanish cheapy pistols, you know, before the end is up, the night is out. But, you know, that's what it's about. You never stop learning, right? I thought I knew about every AK on the planet, let alone century crap. And here I come across this RPK today that I've never seen anywhere. And it's in my year frame that I've years or decades that I've been in AKs. And I don't remember this gun coming out unless it was so insignificant and so much a shitbox at the time that I just blew it off. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to even read on it. So I'll have to take a quick look. It'll probably sort itself out real fast as nope, don't bother with it. But yeah, interesting. Did I tell you guys about a guy I met at the range? And he's got a precision rifle made by Masterpiece Arms. You know, carbon fiber barrel, crazy precision gun with a Mark V on it and everything. And what a rifle! He let me shoot it. Man, I got half a mind to go order me one up custom. Comes in its custom Pelican case and everything, and just gorgeous. His is 6.5 SPR, whatever the hell it is. No, PR, whatever. Now they came out with that 7mm. I think if I do a precision gun, I'm going to do that 7mm. That's really sounds like the new round. But boy, this Masterpiece Arms, you talk about gorgeous. Man, oh man, what a rifle. And it's built to you, you know. I want to say you can get in. I know they make one that's in order to be eligible for one class, it has to be under $2,000 or under 2,500. His is like the $3,500 version. But when I tell you badass, my God, this gun is something. I'm really thinking about one of those too. Let's see what you guys said. They need to make M249 and 2250. Chad O'Cull is in here. Thanks, Chase. I appreciate it, man. 221 Fireball. I think it started out a Wildcat cartridge, or it was one developed by a Wildcatter, a well-known Wildcatter, wasn't it, Brastard? It's an interesting cartridge. and I've got a few powders that work well for it, but and I've read a little bit about it. It's interesting, but um, I don't. It's one of those things where you go, okay. Do I do a rifle, and then what am I going to do with it? You know, I don't know. It'd be something to have. Oh, I like this. I'll do that. And that. A 6.5, 7. Yeah. How many rifles? It was made for the Remington XP 100 bolt action pistol. No kidding. Wow. Did I read that somewhere? They were equating it to. I read too much, and I read too much late at night. Is my problem. That's interesting, though, breast heart. Next year will be better for me too. Yeah, I hope. Everything's gonna like it. Hey, like I brought up on that pistol brace thing. I think we're gonna be okay there. Don't just go jumping off a cliff yet. Don't. I'm not doing nothing until everything's locked down. Squeaky, always enjoy your content. Keep up all the great stuff. Great channel, good people. We do. It is. It sounds so cliche to say it all the time that, hey, it's you guys that make it up, but it is. It really is. You guys make it interesting. I've got this much information or this much information. And, Orion's got this and Brester's got this and he's got this and that. And it all gets added in. Think about the wealth. It just in a small thing like this where there's 20, 30 of us. Imagine the amount, the absolute wealth of knowledge and resource bundle we have there. Just amazing, right? Absolutely amazing. It'd be cool if you could, like 2AED, you did a shoot. Wouldn't it be cool to do a weekend where you have a shoot, you have a dinner, you have maybe just a little fun session at somewhere where you have coffee and stuff or a cocktail hour, and everybody can just sit around and share stuff and info and whether it's on reloading or whatever. I mean, that'd be so cool. Or everybody puts something together and come share it, like a favorite subject or maybe one model of something. And you do a brief, put together a brief presentation. You all meet for a weekend and you do dinner and you do these presentations on whatever it is. And you video it all and you get it all put together. What a way to learn stuff, and have a great time doing it. I don't know. I always got these weird thoughts. I'd like to see an MG3 and 243. Debating a build with Fuller, very expensive, but would be a lot of fun. Just found out last week his shop is near work. What are you going to go do a build class there? Is that what you're talking about? I didn't think they were all that bad. How much are the classes going now? Or are you just talking about having them build you one? I bet he's what? I bet he's all at 2,500 now, right? For a basic rifle. We did the knife review today. Weren't you here for it? Hen and Rooster. A matching set. Solingen steel. Cellophane scales. One of the first pocket knives of any quality that I added to my collection from my father-in-law. Just interesting. Ugly as sin, this particular color combo. But I don't know if you can. There's the true color, I guess. The maroon. I'm not a big maroon fan, let alone throw teal in it. But the swirls are neat. What they did with, I call them cellophanes. There are true cellophane scales, but these are a bit different. But I guess I kind of lump them in there. That's what I call them. I don't know. They're just plastic, but yeah. So we did that. I don't know if you missed it or not, but we did that one.
We have an upcoming battle here. Yeah, you do, boy. I'm really sorry to hear that. Yeah, I can't believe that whole mess. Can't believe she won election. I just can't. Um, we'll pick up a divorce 7 and 23. Good, 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 good. Need to pace my gun spending. Yes, you do. You're going to learn real quick, boy. I debated moving back. Tori, and indeed, I debated moving back. The good folks are leaving Whitmer. Re-election might be the death. Yeah, it really would. It's such a shame. Yeah, Illinois is, boy, we talk about getting out in the nick of time, huh? 3K one-on-one. Oh, shit. I know where you can buy a 6-pack and sit with somebody with more knowledge and build a nice gun for less for a 6-pack. His name starts with K. Now, it costs you a little more than that, but if I could. A matter of fact, Mark still owes me some build time. We always talked about it, and I just haven't had the time. Obviously, he's not going to just toss the parts at me, but if I bought the parts, he'll do the build with me one-on-one on a weekend. That would be cool. But I can't show some of the proprietary stuff as far as jigs and tools and stuff like that. But still be really a cool video. Just Saturdays are tough for me these days. Just built a Type 99 Arasaka out of parts. No kidding. I had most of the parts rifle minus stock, but a messed up barrel. Got a barrel on Gunbroker for $11. Had to make an action wrench to remove the receiver, I'm sure. Yeah, where do you come across one of those these days? Hey, you got an Arasaka action wrench? Yeah, I'm still looking at picking up a Divorce 7. Also, I got a couple more. Still need a couple of things, but it shoots. Headspace is a tad tight, but easy enough to fix. Yeah. Do you have a set of the anti-aircraft sights for it and all that good stuff? Those are interesting rifles, and I think you're going to see those are still really inexpensive. And I think where did I saw one at the gun show the other day, and they're still going cheap. The guys at these shows almost kind of laugh at the guys buying them, but it sure would be nice to find one with the mum intact and a nice set of aircraft sights and the whole 9 yards. It'd be cool. Buddy of mine's got one, but it's been messed with a ton. Yeah, I'd like to have one to round out the collection. God, I saw a beautiful Car 98 today too, and I asked, what do you want for that? And he says, not for sale, it's the owner's. Damn, it was one of the nicest things on the wall. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And yeah, interesting. Had some cool. I've run into some really cool things the last 3-4 weeks. And with Christmas here, well, you know how money goes, right? So unfortunately, they got to stay where they are. Still missing most important part of the bayonet. Well, you'll come across it. You'll get everything put together. It'll be cool. That'll be cool. Yeah, my buddy Jake's got one, but I don't know exactly how bad. I never looked that close at it. I wonder if it's a viable. I got to look at it. Yes, I have the anti-aircraft sights from the old barrel. The new barrel is a transitional type that has the complicated sight, but never had the AA wings. And those things were so delicate, they always ended up getting messed up or broken off or whatever. But what a cool idea. I wonder actually how many hits they ever made with those damn things. I don't know. It'd be interesting to know. But kind of cool. Just got my Pulsar thermal scope, $4,000. The best thing I ever got. Wow, 4,000. No shit. What are you going to hunt hogs or what are you going to do with it? You know what's interesting? Thermal stuff. Night vision's awesome, right? I would love to have the not latest, but I guess latest semi. None of it's affordable, really, but latest greatest night vision, right? But then you need the lasers and the illuminators and all the crap and the helmets and it's a 20 grand investment minimum, minimum. And you try to justify it how, I don't know. That you're going to need it one day. Well, by the time you need it, it might be worthless. Thermal, however, in my opinion, is harder to hide from. And when all is said and done, it's cheaper. I don't know. I don't know. Interesting. Pigs in to see if anyone is sneaking up. Yeah. Yep. I saw somebody made a model you could use on the rifle, and then I don't know if it had a different part of it or something that came off so you could scan without pointing a rifle at somebody. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think that's last ditch 90. Who else was talking about a last ditch Arasaka last week or the week before? Has the mom, it needs me to return it to unsporterized. You know what? I'm going to talk to my buddy about that unsporterized or that sporterized Arasaka because I don't know a ton about them. And I'll do a quick video and see what you think about bringing this rifle back. I may look at it and it's nothing, but hey, why not? It's a way to get in and learn and do cheap and then find a nice example, not a big deal. Anyhow, guys, thanks so much. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. Remember one thing. Don't worry about what's going on. Take a day off, couple days off if you're one of those that worry constantly about what we're losing and how things are going. Take a day or two off, chill the brain a little bit, enjoy your family, enjoy your kids, your wife, everybody around you, and thank God for them every day because it can be gone like that. Trust me, I know. And just give them an extra hug and just look up at the sky and thank your lucky stars for everything you have. It's never that bad. This is, no matter what anybody says, our problems are first world problems, right? And like my dad said, if money can fix your problem, you ain't got a problem, right? It's the problems money can't fix that are the real problems. So have a good Christmas. Have a good holiday. Make it about what the true meaning of Christmas is. Celebrate what he did for us and celebrate your family and be thankful for every little thing you have. It'll all get better. It'll all work out in the end. Why? Because good people survive in the end. And when you believe in that higher power, everything's made right. It'll work out. So enjoy the time off, cool your brain off. Don't worry about all that stuff. Most of it's all, shrapnel at the end of the day, just clogging up the pathways. So take a break. Don't worry about it. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your holiday. Enjoy your family. Enjoy going to church, whatever you do, however you celebrate it. And enjoy the kiddies. It's their time of year too. Stay warm. Survive the snowstorm. If you got a few years on you, get the kids out there to shovel. More people die shoveling snow than any other damn thing. We don't want to lose anybody. That being said, I'll be out shoveling. But yeah, enjoy it. I thank each and every one of you for such a great year and literally being friends and part of my family, because I truly enjoy this. And yeah, thanks, guys. I'll see you between Christmas and New Year's, and we'll drop your Christmas video. And no, don't worry, the liberal glasses ain't staying around. I'll talk to you later. Merry Christmas to each and every one of you, and Rockford Ordnance out.